Hello.
Alaikum salam. Musa, mbatatale. Ni bata sino la ko tenka.
We are live.
Ni bata sino. Jalibadi. Brika. Goyo. Ganyina lela nandum te jam falana itele uluna itele na femo betina manju twilana inene mambalana na
Emma Nilani you.
maleka fonyela itele ulu etika betodina ninga kuja oke ikonye fatanyina nasula fema na ya de dina enin kanomi tana foka funyonya kapana wada doye konde dite te manna na sonna kani feel no me feel dole na talo na ngapajele miliye tumal fight dole ta konna dole bulu ko sile talie dole donna dole kapata min takidi wala kola wala na talonna isa dunia la dunia ka mama ne
Nance uyu.
dole ne kanna ndaji ko ne ta banda wala na nike kana wakisata ka ura ka wena
That's so muna nga smile.
We were on air. I didn't know we were on air. I didn't know we were on air, Di.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were on air.
You didn't?
No, I didn't know we were on air. I was literally in my own way.
Ana sama chéri Rama Ndiaye. maa ngi lay envoyé ay groupe bisou yu pata.
Yeah.
Pa Ousmane doon xaaral.
There you go.
Hello, Lemo. Nancy Ndiaye. ñu ngi leen a nuyu yéen ñëpp. Ramadan Mubarak, everybody. Pa Ous mu ngi ñëw moom lañ doon xaarale nii sax de. Pa Ous xaw ma ban la ñoo indil tey. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are around the world and watching us here at Lingere Post. Ramadan Mubarak. It's fasting tomorrow, so definitely this will be the last social issue show, but we will have other people coming on board to do naka lañ koy waxee sax how do you call that again? Ngoni koor, waxtaani koor. Okay, so you will have people doing some preaching and other stuff, but yeah, we will not be on, but they will be on. Hananans ñëw di leen preach fi alquran te su boobaa fi toj. But anyway, comme niñ dee wax rek foo leen munti di nekk si àdduna si ñu ngi leen nuyu di leen wax welcome to Lingere Post. Man la seen host Mama Lingere ma ànd fi ak Nancy. Xam naa Pa Ous ak gars yi dinañ dugg si kanam tuuti rek su ko defee ñu door show bi. Di leen nuyu yéen ñëpp rek foo leen munti di nekk tey nag li ñoo waxtaanee mooy li nga xam ne mooy violence against women. Fanaa yéen ñëpp ku ma dee follow on social media gis ngeen this week yi nga xam ne moo nekk di xew. Am na jigéen boo xam ne Gambia jëkkëram dafa mel ni ku jël jaasi rek di ko gor. Yàlla rek ko musal ba reyu ko mu am beneen jigéeni Gambia tamit nekk Canada. Fanaa gis ngeen Watson Gambia génn
Network is not good here.
jëkkëri Gambia nam moo ko rey Gambia tamit foofu am na beneen bu ñëw wax ne kooku itamit dafa rey jabaram mu doon yoo xam ne kon ay xeetu violence yoo xam ne mu ngi dal jigéen ñi biir Gambia te loolu la ñoo waxtaanee ba pare itamit bugga nañoo waxtaanee at the end of the show itamit li nga xam ne moom lañ bugg a def collection boo xam ne dinañ mën a dimbale néewi doole nekk Gambia surtout nag incha allah loolu tam nañ ci dugg a waxtaanee si bu baax a baax a baax kon di leen wax rek welcome thank you once again for joining us it's another Friday and of course it's the social issues show here on Linguère Post bitung badingol albedawda drom balkon ton nam baflale ko ala welcome jang with Linguère Post ntelo malla host mama Linguère Sarr nin nansi wi jang bi be min ka chakan bi wolom mimu violence against women wolom li parole nin kol mi yalon ko akake musolla nalbe noma kan on social media this week al yalon ne ko nga case dole setonung momi yalon ko definitely aya muso buti fa ya alafta fala banjum Butaw fananto Canada fanan Watson Gambia la ya report ko Gambian dole fanan yala muso fajeto Gambia fanan do fanan nga soto court solto ko fanan yala muso fale ya sentenced to 7 years so we be mbaka chala janton lafta fanan ka kachake pour kajibe fo tol be min bijang c'est contribution o keno fanan kamol makoy Gambia during the Ramadan kaje ko nge makoy ila Ramadan ka soni andi demanding so these are some of the things me yalon ko bimbe wala ci kacala janto kon di len wax rek yeen ñepp fo le munti di nekk jërëjëf thank you for watching nan suma bayla nga nuyo ñu duga ñu door waxtaan bi nan bu fi indi third world problems nak go ahead ñu ngi la dégga
hello I apologize. I didn't know we were online. I was literally gazing and I was in my own world. Welcome to another episode of the Linguère Post. Can you guys hear me? I think this is our last episode. I'm just a bit out of it today. I'm a bit tired. But obviously you guys are on board every Friday. You are on and, you know, we don't have a choice but to come out here. It's been a very tough, rough week. Why, you know, the Ramadan starts tomorrow. We, like Mama have mentioned, we were dealing with a woman who really Am I back on?
Yeah.
Sorry, Tegambia network. I think part of the reason why I am so ahead today is just because of everything that has transpired through the week, dealing with the victim, just the disappointment, the court, the court's decision. Mama, I was lasering with Mama, and I'm over here, and I'm just so heartbroken over it. And these are the things that just really, what's the right word?
Okay, I think Nancy mu ngi am problem foofu noonu pour duga Youssoufa Njie, yeah, that's the information that we got. Ne am na beneen góor boo xam ne tamit Banjul ñu ngi ko sentence to 7 years ñu ngi lijjanteelu information boobu noonu pour indil leen ko waaye moom tamit ñu ne dafa rey jabaram ñu sentence ko to 7 years in prison, which means very soon dina génn a continuer di def li moo def di continuer di yeah mooy loolu ñun daal loolu lañ fi gis daal waaye ñu ngi continuer di indi information boobu Nans Youssoufa Njie mu ngi laajte on this guy that was sentenced to 7 years wax naa ko ne ñu ngi try for information on that as well. Abdou Jawara.
What information? Can you please say?
When
today, guys, I'm a bit out of sauce. My son is here. I'm tired. It's been a really rough week. And what information are they asking for?
The guy that was sentenced to 7 years for killing.
All I'm saying, am I on, Mama?
Yeah.
I'm on, right? Can you guys see me and hear me properly?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I can't even see myself anymore, but okay. This thing just went off. I think personally for me, so much have.
Okay, Nancy demaat na network am bi daal tey moom mooy loolu, but let's continue. Xam naa dina dugg si waat si kanam tuuti. Yeah, Nancy, we'll be bringing in Nancy Njai. We'll be bringing in some Islamic scholars that will be talking about Islam and stuff during Werikor, inshallah. So lolu mom bu len ci worry dina am inshallah. So the first thing we wanted to do was to talk about jigen bi nga xamne jikaram dafa melni rek comme ni mako waxe jassi la jël rek mom di gor di door num ko nexé parce que gañ yim ko gañ mom doyna wa torop, and these are some of the things you're hamnet of the Hell Gambia, unfortunately. And definitely, like I said, bima defé live video bi, policy definitely this time can mënu leen a fault because definitely leen war yépp. Hadi Njai, ñu ngi lay nuyu. Thank you so much. Tey mom yaangi on time, yes. Policy def nañ liñ leen war parce que biñ mbokk yi ñëwee sa bëgg a def intervention ak yooyu wax nañ leen ne because this is the second time nga xam ne case bi mu ngi fay ñëw, last time bi dóor na ko very seriously, this time tamit mu dóor ko bi gaañ ko gaañu métti yi, ñoom duñ accept any intervention, so yóbbu nañ ko si court bi again. Foofu noonu magistrate bi moo def li nga xam ne mooy mistake bi or fail bi nga xam ne tey kii mun naa génna dem doxi soxlaam jëlaat beneen jigéen dóor ko wala jëlaat beneen jigéen def ko lim koo def. So lii mooy li nga xam ne definitely ñu ngi continuer di si xeex, ñu ngi seet ni ñoo appeler décision boobu noonu, dinañ wax ak lawyers yi flag pour xool, wax tamit ak wax nañoo police yi pour xool ñoom tamit pour ñu appeal décision bi, ñu continuer di appeal décision bi. So loolu mu ngi process bi mu ngi on. Meanwhile, of course, itamit ñu ngi try pour def fundraising, so xaw ma na gis ngeen fundraiser bi. Koo xam ne rek mun ngeen a jàppale in any way to donate, ngeen donate pour jigéen bii ni ñu utal ko at least foo xam ne dina fa mun a nekk at least for a year, so suñ ko jëndalee rent for a year ñu fayal ko mu génn si kër googu moo gën mu toog fa ba kii ñëwaat fekk ko fa wala leneen fekk ko fa loo xam ne xëy na dina nekk noonu. So dinaa jël li nga xam ne mooy di GoFundMe link bi ma share ko fii nii, su ko defee ngeen duga ngeen try duga dimbale jigéen bii nii nga xam ne definitely soxla na suñ ndimbal ñun ñëpp. And this is another sad case boo xam ne if you look at li nga xam ne itamit xew na in Canada, beneen xale bu jigéen boo xam ne itamit moom half Gambian la, moom itamit Western Gambia ñu ngi génnee nataalam sa report, moom itamit ne jëkkëri Gambian am moo ko rey foofu di Canada. Moom itamit so I will share the fundraiser for this woman that we're trying to help. So jigéen bi moom itamit moom jëkkëram moo ko rey Canada, moom itamit yeah, moom itamit kenn xamul lu xew waaye daal jëkkër ji daal rey na ko daal moom, that's it. So and another case boo xam ne moo ko doon wax mooy the woman koo xam ne ñu ngi ko sentenced to what was it, Nancy? 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
7 years in jail for slaughtering his wife because he found out that his wife was cheating, and he asked the wife, she was pregnant, and the wife confirmed that yes, she was cheating, and he decided to slaughter him. So it's been a very tough, rough week. I don't know how to emotionally disconnect myself from these things. To the rest of the world, they might just be statistics, but having to, when you talk to these women and you hear their stories and they break down on the phone and you break down with them and you realize that the only difference between them and me is awareness and exposure and sometimes just opportunity. You know, this lady that we're doing the fundraising for, she is impeccable. You know, she runs a successful business. She does so well for herself. And I saw that when Mama posted the pictures, some of the questions that people were asking was, why would you stay if he hit you the first time? That just shows that we need to do more work in sensitizing people more about the issue of domestic violence. We've all been in love. We have all been in love. We know when your emotions are involved, how hard it is to break away from this chain. And what you in the outside, you are seeing, these people, when they are in there, they don't necessarily see it. And this woman is ready to leave if she has the right help. We have to move her out, find her an apartment, and really, you know, get to give her an opportunity at a had a second chance at life, because really life has not been kind to her. And the other case that Mama mentioned about the husband who's, nobnala nobumala. Okay, morally is wrong, but who is this man? Pul ewu suba, japa sa jabar rendiko. Rendiko, kubir ak dom, nga rendiko. And then the justice system decide to give him 7 years. But I want to say something. Some of the hurdles that this woman faced, and I think it has affected the case, Mama, is the fact that, and I'm gonna name, I'm not here to make any business look good. I don't have time for that. These are people's lives. One of the biggest issue is her first stop was at Buffalo Hospital. Everybody in Gambia knows Buffalo Hospital. She went there, they treated her, and she paid money. It's not free. She paid money. Bless you, Mama. When it was time for the hospital to write on the template, Gambia government have template for domestic violence victims. When it was time for the hospital, Buffalo Hospital, to write on the template that this was a case of domestic violence, they refused. And their excuse was their policy is they use their own forms that are not approved by any court of law or absolutely no police station. For me, this is the definition of laziness. They are trying to protect themselves because Sen Formbi is what suits them, not necessarily what the government requires. So I am appealing to every woman who is out there. If you are a victim of domestic violence, stay away from Buffalo Hospital because they will jeopardize your case. We're keeping it real. This is about people's lives. I am not here to make anybody look good. I am not here to, I don't work for them. So I genuinely don't care. These are experiences that women have. You can go to Serekunda Hospital. You can go to, you can go to really, when you go, and this was what I said to them. So policy it is against women, or it is against writing in government template, then don't take these patients. Because it's very important. These are documents that built up these ladies' cases. And if you are telling me you are the hospital that has marketed yourself as a woman's hospital, you have a policy. You have a policy in place that is not in support of women. I cannot sit here and support your hospital. I cannot sit here and not name and shame your hospital for not helping this woman. And in the end, even for her to get that document, that Buffalo claim that they give to these women, they charge her $1,000. At $1,000. That was what she paid them. And even that, it was like, it felt like she had to beg them to give her this document. So Dama appealed to women. And I have decided I have learned a lot this past week that, is someone else talking? That advocacy doesn't necessarily end, at us coming on social media and talking. I have decided to take the initiative and really be part of this fight. This is something I'm extremely passionate about. So women, do not go to Buffalo Hospital, go to Serekunda Hospital, and when you get there, tell them, be very clear with whoever the doctor is, that you were abused and this is a case of domestic violence, and they will be required to write on the government template. And if this is something the hospital doesn't provide, no matter how much pain you are in, please go to the next one. So that was issue number one. Issue number two, they went to the courthouse. I don't understand how you can go to trial without the survivor or the victim. How? They also said that the woman's husband was a police officer. I called the police myself and I spoke to one of them, and he was pretty much dumbing me down, telling me something about, ma'am, don't threaten me. I'm like, I'm not threatening you. I'm gonna walk all the way to that police station, and best believe if I show up there, because man, I'm not there to make nice. You guys are being paid by our taxpayers. So Mama, this is not just the court system. Everybody have failed this woman. From the hospital to the police to the justice to the courts. Everybody have failed this woman. And she is so discouraged. I am so heartbroken for her. Literally, Mama knows. I'm sitting over here calling her. Did they call you to go to court? Not yet. Did they call you? When it was midday, I'm like, go to the hospital and get your dressing. There is no way that they're going to call you at 12:45 to go to the court. 15 minutes later, they called to tell her pretty much the case is over. You tried a case. I spoke to the prosecutor who said to me, oh, I was given the case 30 minutes before I walk into court. What prosecutor? How do you justify? You know nothing about this case. 30 minutes before you walk into court. How do you justify this? Because it is a woman's case handled by men. The judge was a guy, some Pamodu Njai. I hope you are watching and I hope you see this. These are the people that we don't need in our system. These men who are not for women. And I get balma, tay basi where the corner full balu each other. But I am so angry. And when the show started, my sister just texted me and was like, smile. I don't have a reason to smile. It's been a tough, rough week for women. Women in Gambia, the system, the government, everybody have failed us. They are pretty much telling us that our lives are worth nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was go ahead. I'm just gonna keep going.
Wow, well, dama go straight. Dama keep my time because xam ngeen ne moom gis nga kalam gaa ngi ci ñi ek la wéré ko so jaw samay living sax anyway wow pull
it's wow, Ramadan day
wow elek so mo ta kalam gaa ngi la ci ma ngi ñu ras wow why yeah nasi li nga wax nonu am nga point and buma ñep gisé ne I am anti or against what is happening. I am against domestic violence in any form. Why fair rek la buga ñu understand ne this unfortunately we have bad laws in the Gambia that affects every part of society. Now, even in the political scene, we have seen we have seen the issue of Sabali's case is as a result of the bad laws that we have in the Gambia. Kune bi itelumo o lalumo rek na am bena bo xamne la affect one way or the other or na affect ki nga xam or na affect li nga xam ne yos lul nga dunda. So in mother we as a nation and as a community and as activists we need to come together and do an overall repeal of all the laws we have, not being selective to li nga xam ne su la affecté rek nga wax. Now mange bi nga duggé mange diga bi nga duggé ya nga wax fi nga waxé non ne bi ga demé court. Now we cannot condemn the court for executing what is in the books. Now we have
no. The book says cap 228 big I use. The minimum sentence is 5 years in prison. It is very clear.
Yes. Now
we that says even that the judge has a leeway put fine ko banko sentence. There's a custodial sentence and a fine.
Now
the custodial sentence is mandatory based on the
severity of the crime. Wow. So
and that charge attracts a minimum of 5 years in prison.
Okay.
So
now we
from based lolu ken xamuko why do si ben law book bo xamne tek nañ ko si kanama.
Okay, fine. Then okay, because if the laws if the crime is linked to a sentence being is spelled out, later guy executing ko or they not pronounce the charges as per the law is something linga hamne we have a case and appeal. And bear in mind that these people
the witness was never taken to court. You know, they couldn't call Amwiko. So they went ahead and had a whole trial without the victim. Lolo Gambia.
No, in the Gambia, man, I used to work in the courthouse in Bundun. Now in the Gambia, you don't even know Gambia. Our main problem, with due respect to our police forces, we lack very good prosecutors and these prosecutors who knows what they are doing actually, because what we know is policeman damta hasiko talibila traffic left right center. But there is a bigger role as a police because of you are policing society. You are trying to enforce the law. You are trying to police society well not to enforce to some extent. Why in the Gambia there was a time being hamne ñu ngi attack police naan amuñ prosecutors correct or amuñ ñi nga xam ne the law or they can even express themselves. Now that is a problem. Now we have a problem of issuing someone and bringing the accused
to court, to come here to court. Law is an issue in the Gambia, right? It's been an issue in the Gambia. One time I legacy courthouse then. Now for the judge to have a correct trial in the Gambia, right now as we speak, lu bokkut politique rek it's not as big as ñun liñ ko bëggee. And again, comme Nancy no wax noonu right now, léegi mama gis nga suñ bëggee am diga or nekk si yooni diga, that was not because of the judge or the people concerned were men. Man, I refuse to accept that, because su nekkoon ne sax ne, you know, the judge did not issue that judgment because of he's a man. Why something must have triggered behind the case, behind the scene. Now, if we're not happy with that sentence, there is always for us to appeal against sentence, because it's happened here, and it's transferred to Banjul. Now, Banjul Magistrate Court, that is to an extent that they can issue out these sentences. Who knows that the sentence is not within the jurisdiction of the court in that area, or the case was taken to a wrong court. I give you a good example of
Nyanala. Trying to justify what happened. No, Paos, come on. I'm not today. Paos, maybe you need to Paos justifying even playing devil's advocate. Paos Dekluma. Justifying or even devil's advocate in this ridiculous ruling is annoying. Please, today is not a day for justifying the system. Today is not a day for us to even sit there and try to play devil's advocate. This is what happened. Like I said, I know what happened. What happened? This lady's husband is a police officer because he knows the system, and it was a complete and utter disgrace from start to end. Going Yokoron. Just like our whole lives is the narrative of men controlling our system, is the narrative of men not valuing our lives. So please, stay the devil's advocate that you play and working today. I'm not even in the mood for it.
déglu leen Amina Diagne mu ne fa bëgg a dugg fii nii mu ngi si line bi ñu jël ko den ñu continuer. Amina ñëwal.
Okay.
Hello, assalamualaikum.
Maaleykum salaam.
Waaleykum salaam, Amina.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Yal nañ ko commencé si bismillah jeexale ko si alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.
Thank you.
Paos dama dee faral di d'accord ak yow si most of the things ni nga dee gisee why on this one did not disagree with you tuuti parce que if somebody's life at risk here mënuñ koo yóbbu si seen stupid wrong court war nañoo make sure they have all their facts ñoom everything ba pare naka ngaa yóbboo nit ki court without the witness ba pare di ko lu tax Gambia foog ne jigéen ñi ay mala lañ dañ leen di dóor di leen rey di leen rape unnecessarily government bi di judge stand the people that call themselves the judges and the lawyers the police nga dugg leen ñu drop cases yi xalaatuñ kan lañ yaaxa kan lañ tooñ kan lañ toroxal Gambia lii ba kañ lu tax nit ñi war a noppi gis nga on this case like in this lady's case du nit ñi duñ mun a noppi nit ñi mënuñoo noppi si lii parce que ñun mënuñoo gis ne góor amul luñ ñu ëppale ci àdduna si comme dañ leen wax ne ilif leen te mënuñoo nekk kilifa nañu randu ci yoon bi bàyyi ñu rule suñ own life nekkuñ seen mbaam ñu ñoo dox di dóor government bi ne ñun ñoo leen di fay tax dañ war a toog fii di doxal loi man the problem with Gambia is law is not law anymore. There is no law in the Gambia. su fekkee ne suñ magistrate yi ak suñ judges ñu ngi jël bribes suñ police officers yi do not even know A to B. They don't know the law book. How can you take a court, for example, to a case to a wrong court? Lolu moy police bi jël def lolu or judge dañ waroon a recite straight up. Life in nit la kii nit la doomi jàmbur la jabar suñ la ko joxee it's not a punching bag. Góor ñi nañ jëm ci seen morom yi di kurpe ñante.
Fana ko de
sonn nañ fi mu nekk nii ci amul kenn ku leen taxaw soo waxee ni naan dañ bëgg a indi western life bi fii lii is not about western life yaram boo xam ne soo dankee kurpeñ dóor mu métti la ni mu méttee ni mu laa méttee noonu laa méttee ko ci te góor soo demee ba rees sa loxo di dóor jigéen koo xam ne yaa ko ëppa doole yaa ko war a defend you're less than a mouse dañ la war a lock for the rest of your life this guy needs to lock it up
ba pare du dóor sa ak lefinde di ko bëgga gis nañ yaramam bi xam nga loolu loxo defu ko loolu wëña ko def ak jël moto buga ko dawal ci kaw nit ki pour rey ko
dañ leen ko waxtaanee na em si famille bi nañ dugg nañ def nonsense lii nañ met soone ñëpp nañ teel a ñu wax si because mu ta demee nii Gambie duñu fajal suñu rongoñ ba pare boole ñu ko di ñu dóor di ñu mandargaal loolu moo fi jeex lii daf fi war a jeex nañ leen bàyyi moom na jigéen ñi góor ñi seen nonsense yi ba pare boole ñu ko di ñu yow amuloo dépasse bu doy doo fay school fees amuloo
Thank you.
loo jigéen bés bu es di nga danka kurpeñ wala jël ay et di ko dóor
wallahi
soo waxee ñu ne nañ leen ko discussé lan lañ fee discuss jigéen ñi nekk ci place yi war a taxaw nañ jóg ñu jàppale jigéen ñi first lady second lady jóg leen ngeen nekk voice jigéen ñi biir Gambie
definitely
jigéen ñi soona nañ
definitely
lii du loo xamante ni dañoo wax ne if at all dañ made a mistake don't make a mistake on human life you cannot put a bet on a human's life na góor ñi dem uti métier bàyyi yëfi dóorante yëfi ñàkk fayda xam nga man bëggoon naa duggatee waaye su ma duggee du ma wax jaama that being the reason bàyyil ma nekk si téléphone parce que man lii nekkul loo xam ne dañ war a toog sax ne waa dañ ko waxtaanee bi nice there is nothing to be nice about it
wallahi
let's call a spade this guy needs locking up ba pare ban George ban dëkk nga jàngee pour ñu jox la case in 30 minutes nga xam about the crime nga mun a George kan moo wrong ak kan moo right did this
And I just want to say that I was kicked out.
With all the guidelines, sentencing guidelines, you nekk si book bi nga decide ne yow doo ko sentence danga ko fine bi sa doo ko jox the maximum fine li nga ko jox mooy $2,000 si fine ak $15,000 si compensation to the victim. 15,000 boobu mutut sax te du ko fay sax I'm sure mutut sax li nga xam ne mooy gaañu yi mutut medical expenses mutut transport bi moo jël every day fi mu nekk di dem ñu ko dress. It is just unbelievable.
It is. And as I was on the phone, as I was on, she actually just called me. That's why I was kicked off. Please, guys, if you can donate to the GoFundMe, I promised her today that I was going to take her for us to go look for places. She's still in the house, and the house belongs to her husband because she has nowhere to go. And these are the issues that these women face.
So you can come to my house. She can come to mine. She's more than welcome. There's a room for her.
Thank you.
Let them come to me. I am ready for them. Because Lady B, donate because Lisi good cause it's a matter of life and death. You dem uti lawyer. One judge is a lawyer in a second different homework. You jigéen ñi dinañ ko jël upon us pour ñu make sure that justice is done, is served. Ku bokk ci case bi mënuma saaga waaye lii tam dina neex ëllëg la weeru ko yéen ñi gis ngeen dama mer billaay dama mer naa torop
day na waar
man xaw ma ban façon ko Gambie moom dara doxu fi dara dangaa nekk Gambie nga am problème ak foreigner bi dugg leen yow Gambien bi nga nekk in trouble. The judges they buy the lawyers, they bought the police, they bought everything that we own. So in Gambia, we're nobodies in our country. We're like aliens in our own country.
I know what.
Voice, jigen ñi téné. Fajar 4 o'clock nga gis jigen ñi ci marché bi ñu ngi koco di taw yépp ngir njaboot ak famille. Yow soo amee jigen bu mel noonu yow góor nga war koo jàppale. Amuloo dara loo ko def. Waaye ngay dóor dañ la ko may pour nga dóor ko daf di mbaam ba pare lu tax famille si dee wax ne nañ leen ko discuss lu tax du ñoo génn ñu dimbale seen doom danga ko may mu sëyi soo demee bay seet teg kurpeñ wala di jëlal sa doom te taxaw sa ground pour yóbbu maan bi koor
wax dëgg
amul benn kees buñ wane na góor jigéen bi moo jël marto dóor jëkkëram wala li fii la ñoo wax waaye benn jigéen moo tuur jëkkëram diwlin tuuru ko diwlin waroon naa bana fray ko ba mu xom mu seeti ko
waaw gis nga loolu la ñoo wax de benn jigéen bu ko fi defoon tey nga déggaleen ñoom ñëpp ñu jóg jigéen ñi tuur na kii diwlin def la lii waaye yéen a ngi seetaan
dañoo door seen jabar yi seen jëkkër yi jigéen ñi dañu war a déggal góor xanaa góor yàlla Gambien fi xamne sey nekkut worshiping the guy na Gambien fi xamne so seyal nit ki you're not a slave you nekkut ne yaa war a def liggéey kër gi yëpp liggéeyal goro liggéeyal njëkke liggéeyal rakki góor ku góor ki liggéeyal am di jàmm am na jigéen yoo xam ne soo duggee si seen kër seyukaay yi nga yërëm leen full kër dañoo eewu suba from 5 o'clock di fóot ba ay 7 in the evening suñ paree di passé di toogal di daw di bale mel ni ay mindaan te ku leen mindaan ay jabar ngeen taka ni ngeen buggee jigéen ñi respect leen joxe leen loolu jigéen ñi cër seen cër
métti na trop
xawma lu tax góori Gambie graduate University of Ñorodi ak nonsense
doy na waar
ko fi wax mooy jaay yaa jomba ñaaw sol yére bu diis jiital koola nekkee wuñ fi lu dul lekk riba bâtiment liñ door jigéen jàppal ma jigéen góor ñi ma door jigéen jërëgeen jëf yéen continuer leen man tey man maa ngeen nan si leen nan si waxal lu la neex maa ngi
jërëjëf Amina ñu bàyyi Diro mu nuyoo ñu continuer Diro nekkuloo on de xaaral ma génne téléphone bi okay go ahead léegi you can talk
okay na ngeen def yéen ñëpp naka seen week bi naka weekend bi mbay nañ ko enjoy I'm glad to be on the panel and I'm really sorry about what happened this week so I hope we can talk about it and encourage more people to join in the fight
definitely Diro, what are your thoughts? We're talking about violence against women. We have seen what has happened. Ki jëkaram door ko bucca ko bet lañuy wax du door parce que daf ko doon bucca moom dafa mel ni ku jëloon paaka rek moom di ñaas nit or whatever ñu jóge si loolu beneen góor rey jabaram ñu sentence ko to 7 years in Gambia déete waay keneen ki Canada tamit jël moom itamit ñu ne moom itamit dombel la jël rey jabaram so all of this week has been a charged week for women and we haven't seen the narrative in any way pour ñu gis sax ne media bi sax ñu ngi jóg di si wax di si taxaw di si yuuxu sax it's just us women ñun rek a nekk di wax waaye kenn dafa mel ni daal you know people don't even care about what is happening to women in Gambia.
Mama, di bala ma bala nga ñëw. Mama, you ask a very good question about the media, the government. Why is everybody silent? You know why? Because they don't value our lives. Every single day, the Minister of Women's Affairs is currently in New York attending a UN meeting. I'm pretty sure she has no idea what women are facing in this country. I have repeatedly said, and every activist in this country will agree with me, Fatou Kinte needs to go. She needs to go. Guess not, Mama. My activism, it comes with some sort of responsibility. Because you cannot be there for the past 5 years and the plight of women haven't changed. You're like deaf. You are responsible for the issues of women. International Women's Day, do you know how many programs they were actually beneficial of women? What did they do? They went and attend an International Women's Day event for women. Have absolutely zero impact on any woman in this country. Wow, they don't criticize us. They don't want to act like those people. Act like what people? Their impact is just to look cute and you plaster them all over. And my role in life is to make a difference in people's lives. I am not here to play nice because these are people's lives that we are messing with. Diplomacy be the fun way. Let's start calling these people out by their names. You are the Minister of Women's Affairs. For the past 5 years, what can you say that you have done for women? What impact? You ne tay la gudi elek la ñoo or sa digante ak yalla yow bo toge xol sa setu yow Fatou Kinte what have you done for women? Dafa melni yow bi nga toge jigéeni Gambia si lañ gëna sonna jigéeni Gambia si lañ gëna suffer. The struggle just keeps going on and on and on and on, and your silence is deafening. Like this woman, she gets under my skin. Everybody who runs a non-profit organization that deals with women in this country talk about how frustrating it is to deal with the Ministry of Women's Affairs. They're just there. Lipstick minister. Zero impact. Zero. nañ ko wax tey benn yoon dee.
Doy na waar torop, and we have to, like we said, ñun fii with the social issues show, we're not here to sugarcoat anything, and we're not here to please anybody. I always say it, we have to be bold enough to do what we're doing and to have these difficult conversations, because that's the only way that we're going to impact any change in that country. And I always say, the change has to start with us. Du musa muna ñëw from anybody but from us. And right now, what I'm seeing, mooy loolu Fat Camara naa la yónnee dinaa def number bi si lefin bi pour nga gis ko léegi nii. But this week has just been hell for women. And man bi ma génnee sax I didn't realize Nancy ne suma buti noonu lañ xonxee woon, or that I was that swollen my eyes, because everybody's just been so stressed out, kenn nelawut. And I think it's time as women, and I have to thank Fatou Baji, because she reached out, we need to work together and help this woman. Immediately we set up the GoFundMe, and we have already started now collecting money. And I've told her, long term we have to look at getting shelters for these women. We have to work on proper shelters for these women, because right now we leave them in that husband's home, because they cannot even go to their mother's house, because that mother does not want them there, or that family does not want them there, because ñu ngi leen a wax ne toog leen si marriage yi nii. So we have to leave them literally at the house where they are unsafe. So we have to work on these modalities to ensure that we're protecting women, because right now I feel what we're doing is not enough, and we cannot continue to fundraise. So we have to have a proper mechanism in place.
Mama, this is where the government comes in. We are not government.
I agree that the government, we have to approach the government, we have to work with the government. But I will tell you something in Gambia. Nancy, you know my theory about working with government. We lead our government. That is the Gambia we live in. We have to lead our government. We start, and it seems like that's what happens. We start, and then our governments follow. Because we cannot say we will wait for government to do X, Y, and Z for it to happen. For instance, like what Mama just said about the shelter, instead of just raising funds ad hoc, let's raise funds to find one apartment or one house that whenever these things happen, we have somewhere to put these women. So these are our approaches. We cannot do them ad hoc every time. We have to have structure behind it. And we have to forget, look, Nancy, all what will happen is we'll just be yelling at the government. It's way past time now. We forget about yelling at the government and figure out our own solutions that will work for us. Kupuga join. Kupuga join. That's your problem. The door is right there. Be careful not to be smacked on your behind on the way out. We cannot wait for government. When I do my projects, I never wait for government. I do, and then government will call me. Hey, we want to come and join you. Gambia non la mel, unfortunately non la mel. So nekene dañ buga har government dara du xew. We have to think about our own projects. We have to form our own strategies. We have to raise our own funds. We start. And then when we start, we can scream even louder. But once we have not started, all we are doing, our screaming and our yelling will not make one impact. We can call Fatou Kinte here, her name, million times, not one single impact. Until we start our own operation and our own activities, funded by us. For us by us. I forgot the other us, but for us by us. Until we believe in that we can
people, do it other people.
Yes, more than that, we have to start. So
but I
think that's where we are. And frankly,
Gandhi endorsed a shelter, and it was sponsored and renovated. And if they did put the money that was actually given, the shelter will not be what it is. I was in the shelter about a month ago when a 14-year-old girl's father said he was gonna give her away to marry a 47-year-old man. I had to step in, use my own money. And again, this is where us as activists, we fall short. Because you cannot see another human being suffering, struggling, and you don't take your own personal resources and put it there. So when I sit here and I call out the people who are responsible, I am not doing it to name and shame these people. I am doing it to call their attention to some of these issues. And I agree with you that we have to take over the fight. But Damala Wahnela, like you said, Gambia, we lead and government follows. And that is embarrassing. Because normally it's the other way around. It's the government who leads and we follow.
If we don't do it like that, what do we do? Do we stay? No. Today I was talking to a guy. I shared the post, Mama's post on the group. And I said, if anybody wants to see the pictures and the videos, contact me. Somebody contacted me and I showed them the videos and the pictures. And he was going on and on. And I told him, but you are the same one when feminists and activists speak, you shut them down.
Yeah.
You shut them down. You actively are participating in shutting down the people
Zero.
who speak up
Every day, every single day.
You're surprised.
Every single day. This man will come on my Facebook page and tell me that I am an angry feminist. Which man has how do they say it? Which man has angered me? And that's the anger that I bring on social media. Every single day, this man will come on my page and insult me.
If we're angry, we have every right to be angry. Did you see those pictures on that video? I told him, like, you participate actively in shutting down feminists and activists. But we have a real reason for speaking up. And then I started engaging this guy, and he's like, what do? I said, look, there's many things you can do. First of all, you have to be an ally. You start by amplifying the voices of these feminists instead of trying to shut them down. Amplify the voices. Donate to a cause. It's really simple. It's not that difficult. Allow people to speak up against the things. Because, you're saying, oh, if this was my sister. But my friend, you don't have to wait for it to be your sister. The sign of intelligence is that you're able to relate to somebody else's pain without having experienced the pain. Why is that so hard for us Gambians to be able to relate and empathize with somebody's pain? We have to go through the pain before we say, this is a real pain. It is pain people are experiencing. You don't have, and I will repeat again, guys, women, you don't have to go through the pain to be able to understand the pain. There's empathy. Let us empathize with victims. And let us empathize with those working for victims instead of trying to actively shut them down. Like feminism, like you feminists. Like sometimes when they say that to me, it's like, oh, but what more feminists do saga? It's a compliment.
Because man ñepp xam nañ ne man suma best friend mooy suma papa. So mënuma bañ góor su fekkee ne man suma best friend man ki nga xam ne suma jógee suba suma ko koolee lu ma wax ak moom intimately mënuma ko wax benn doom aadama si kaw suuf mooy suma papa góor man kooku moom a njëkk a empower. So man naka laay xeetee góor, but that will be their excuse because what they need to do is shut you down, and the only way they can shut you down is to bring in this liñ foog ne ñoom is insult. Put insult la ne yow lii ak lii ak lii. But I tell people, and when they talk, what about violence against men? You know why we are not talking about violence against men? Because 99% of the time, it is women that are victims, not men. And that is why we are to focus on women.
Mentioning and validating them is even giving them a platform. I'm just kind of like, right now, I'm not putting my energy towards ignorance. That's not my position. I'm putting my energy towards the cause. We are on a mission. And I have decided, and I will say right here on Linger Post, that this woman's experience has spoiled something in me. I see all the loopholes in the system, and I'm going to fix it. I have reached out to non-profit organizations who work with women, and I'm not satisfied. I am going to lead a cause. I am going to start a non-profit that literally the goal is to help this woman. I'm not, and I understand you cannot run a non-profit without money. You cannot do all these things. But if it means going out of my way and again, mandama name and shame, because I get so infuriated. I'm just like, how dare you? How dare you? You have the audacity to sit on national television and claim that you are a woman. Show me, what can you show? Like I said, everybody in this cabinet have had 5 years to prove their worth. What can they show? Baos always says, Nenaka, the opposition. The bottom line is, man, I don't care who the president is. I don't care who these ministers are. I just want them to deliver. And if you are not delivering, dama also tur. Parce que suma lima pay taxes. You work for me. Anybody who works for this government works for us, the people. We don't owe you anything. This respect that you guys think you deserve, you have to earn it. It's not given. You have to earn it. It's enough. It's enough. What happened this week in Gambia? 3 women, 2 of them have lost their lives. Just like that. You missed this story. He slaughtered his wife because Munayabaram was cheating on him. You got 7 years jail time. So in justice system below la jox góor bi ku rendi jabaram and the woman was pregnant.
These people. So if the justice system does not, the thing is, the reason for me the justice system really sucks because imagine you refuse to you give 0 days jail term to this man who almost, look at what he did to his wife's body. 7 years imprisonment for killing a woman. So if the government does not want to punish these people and set an example, what does that mean for the people? Because think about it, a lot of these women, most of the times, we're coming from very poor, impoverished backgrounds, So even if we say, like I was thinking, can we sue them? Imagine if you take somebody who has no money and you sue them, it's just a waste of time. Like really, then what happens at that point? Some of these women, the only justice they will get is through the government ministry system, the judiciary. That's the only source of justice they will get. So if the justice system is not working for them, what happens? Can we sue these men, especially when they have a small property? Can we go and sue this guy?
Yeah, we're going to go after him.
And let
this
him out
one,
on the street.
I don't know which other one, but this one we will go after him.
Go sue. He has a property, sue and take all the property and give it to the woman.
And I think Safi is telling us, we have to become apa Osamoloi Wafini, Dugasil. Safi Mune in 10 years, they recruit these young men.
You better watch what you say. I'm on page.
Sorry, they recruit
Jungle
in
justice,
10 years.
Mom, I cannot agree to jungle justice, Mama.
Yes, because I'm on justice. Kind mom, you get the law into our own hands. Paos.
Wow.
Because
no,
chairman definitely ñoom itamit hej na ñena yangi Europe ñena yangi feneen mënuñ ko def. We recruit the boys, we pay them money, they go and beat you up as well. Legi go door sa jigen. No, I'm going to say it here. Góor gu door sa jigen boy dawal guddi parel de gestu sa gannaaw because dinay recruit boys ñoo ñef la ba nga xam yow itamit.
No, xam na yéen a ngi xam nga
open
tey digala tey dañ mer ñu ngi mer xol yaa ngi jóg right now. While let's also remember we are trying to help somebody and the victims ñu gëna mer than ñun because ñoom they are the direct persons affected now and we want to help them. Mama man li ma gis ni man suma xol mayit ma xaar police man am na li ma def o li nga def suma doom o ko boko ci man duma xaar police duma ko oo sax I do what I have to do, and after I face the law. Now, but again, what makes us a better society? More obeying the law. Now, the whole problem, is we have to tackle the head of the snake, which is trying to focus on these laws, to have these laws in the Gambia. And if we have them, to implement them and put suitable people in these positions to implement these laws. Now, Lee is not in the Gambia. But so by hell in the Gambia, over the past years, we have so many NGOs doing the same, claiming to do the same thing. And what we had lacked in the past years more a unified force to make sure that we fight for a cause and we achieve what we want. Mama, nothing in this world cannot start and succeed without a political will. Nothing. Even if you call yourself an NGO, at some point you will crisscross with government and you would want something from them. Now, what you have, a smart activist, you rather work smart to achieve your objectives than working towards or targeting somebody else. We have seen a good example, the issue of Killer Ace. Now, these police and prosecutors, they are very smart in how they start their case. If they want to buy time, now we all know a magistrate court, they can't try case of arrests. Now, the example I give you is of Killer Ace case. They deliberately took it to the Canifin court, which has no jurisdiction. But why they did that was because they can't hold them with beyond the 24 hours. Now, if you take somebody else to a magistrate court, what you are doing there is you are trying to surrender custody of that person to the state. So therefore, what you are doing more, in the end, what you're gonna achieve more, the magistrate court will rule we don't have any jurisdiction to try the case. Then you get reminded in the mile 2. This has been the trick that the Gambia government or the police force or the prosecutors are trying to do if they have a specific interest in you and want to hold you beyond the 72 hours. That's the only way they could do. Might take the case to our own court and buy time, now go to the high court and you are there. Now, in this case, man, follow Mako right now. But the point more in Sun Gambian lawyercy and our prosecution service is not functioning. Now, in the Gambia, we don't have a serious review commission whereby they review these kind of cases, even if we have it's not functioning. Now, I give an example again. In the UK, the mother of baby P is about to be released. So, Lenny, it's not about just in the Gambia or just about men. It's about no matter how much bad characters you have in a country, they can be controlled with the law. America, where everybody else, some states, it's your right to have a gun. But the reason why people can't just kill anybody in the streets is because they have laws to regulate those things. Now, in the Gambia, we know, let's say if we have dogs who call themselves men, in the case of example of this person, now, you can't control a wild dog. You put a chain and put him in a cell. Or when the dog is walking on the streets, put those mouth guards. So there are many mechanisms and there are many loopholes that is in the Gambia that is failing. And from Nike Moy, the activists, Bokana Diaspora Club, then door, 16, 1 year, 2 year, pam, dead, GDHI, well, you get function, but digat lolen, nga amat fi mammogram cancer, digat lolen. So for how long do we keep having these things? Senegal, I want to parity, women's force, march. Now, from these cases, what happens? From these examples, what it may do or what it can do more trigger a change in the policy and a trigger a change in the law, but that has to be spearheaded by or be championed by women NGOs. Hey, right now, finally, get funds to set up for these people. It wouldn't work. We have that in Bakote. There was a charity I was part of or helped set up. Charity, we only had about them for 2 days, 3 days. Kindergarten right now. I went to Gambia, Mama. I went to Bakote. City Hale Fundika. Fadinga moy hale bo nonu ki nga xamne papam dafa yon lighter tal tankami. Nik dafa dohi won. I went in there and I saw the girl. Gis na hale bo xamne mama am sa 5 years old. Be tankam ya den ko dok ci ombi. Ñe pam ñe yaayam o xama family am o pensa bi ñoko dur ba dok tankami. And that in that same house in Bakote, it housed people who have been trafficked from Nigeria to come to work in the Gambia. But we have these things in there, but the more government is seeing Mama Linga do what Namgi respond right now, they relax. The funds are there, the government, they have this thing. Now, what we need to do as activists, first, hold government into account, have our legal team, challenge government in courts, do this thing. A child to go to school is a legal responsibility for the government to provide. If a Gambian to go and access good medical health care is a legal requirement and a legal responsibility from government to do. Now, that define ko moy amun ken ki nga xamne is non-political, non-tribal, non-selfish. All they see is Gambia and my work and me be an activist or a feminist and I have to achieve or I have to deliver and then attack government. We have seen now Gambia is been polarized by two things: tribalism and politics. Lucy Bokud Amut right now. Who knows that this case, Gain Hamante? We are good. I was saying for the first time in history. Somebody very close to me was nearly about to be raped. Police. I'm not talking right now. Duff, my Google not hire a plane to go to Gambia. Because if I was there that very day, not taken that day. Because Nako door, Nako ride in my tail, not to the police, I come back to UK. But you know what happened? Some parents what ki family ñu ñoo tukku dem bari ay galage dañu liggéey ñu dé bu wan mi talk police 3 good weeks man ma ko ni hey ya boy ki ndegam yow ñu ko court damul arrange ko into any court of law dañ buñ ko fa téy dañ ko bayyi every day muy joy di ñu ñaan té magam is a police officer mu ñëw suñu kër ma call ko ma waxa mom melni ko if I ever see you in my house again dina dox bon from the IGP down to the last police force. Because after what happened was, Mama, Sumaraka bu police, guy den ko wax mu fay pour ñu bay koku nonu nañ ko fay diko ay xaliss diko social welfare sa guy we were financing their departs up and down. No institutions in the Gambia that deals with the welfare of the individual is not working. Be the woman, be the child, be the sick, be the prisoner, be the poor. It's everywhere. We only know one section within a whole lot. Now, this woman, the signs were there from day one. Man, I am eager to know and a family can happen why it happened lantanga harkofa. Ma because do you know at those injuries, ko dafa may da den takon lohom diko dur. But that's the only thing I can suggest. Because for mo jigen at dolem those gani you know right now. Ma bala Dios take comment.
Yeah, ñu ngi am caller ñu jël caller bi rek dem ñu continuer tamit. Go ahead, yeah.
Hello, Mama.
Yes, yeah, ñu ngi la dégg naka nga def? Ziar nañ la.
Maa ngi okay. Waaw, maa ngi leen a delloo ziar di nuyu sa gaay yëpp nekk si platform bi di leen nuyu. Baala la mu ngi xaw a noisy. Di wax di nuyu listeners yëpp tam. Maa ngi gis Alia yaa ngi def post about this woman that was brutalized la ko buga wax
buchat man buchat la de wax man duma de wax sa brutalized buchat
exactly. But the thing is man munuma set pictures because leo moy xamna daf ma trigger ma get all angry and worked up to do ma si mun dara. So man suma get to that stage I would rather not see it. Understand nga waaye dafa am lu mu buga wax moy man foog naa ne the best because Gambia among institutions yoo xam ne put nañ ko in place to support these women. Understand nga so man I would rather fi ma doon bëgg mooy ñu door di sensitize women door di wax ak ñoom dooree ko si parents yi. Understand nga but so gisee most of domestic violence doone ñu gën a néew doole rek la dee happen.
It happens to the best of people.
You see educated, sophisticated women, independent women, you have they're going through it. But they are ashamed to come and tell people this is what I'm going through because people are looking at them. Then all now this people like he is strong, you know. She has it all going for her, so the women come out for but most of you get them through domestic violence in Gambia. So you get to get from hunger, the underprivileged. I don't know who this woman is. Why so much to think guess one day this is so the best thing man lima from the low line what the deaf moy. We don't see radio stations see. Because man, Gambia, when you start speaking up, comme li ngeen doon wax ñu laa ooyee féministe man de all the time mooy this Chris and Will seen case man dama deviate a little bit and I brought in my own du wane jigéen ñun ñu dee sonalee suñu moromi jigéen because of who but so xoolee the other gender which is like the male guy ñoom soo leen xoolee di nga gis ne ñoom very rare nga gis leen ñoom ñu use violence towards each other because of jigéen so man that's where I was coming from but I had amul lu know yow dafa am góor gu la disappoint that you can xamul which I don't care about man loolu moom duma dee yóbbu fenn but what I'm saying is it's about time you door di woon jigéen ñi ne they have only one life and su fekkee ne dañ laa gumloo ne sëy bi you have to dare in sëy nga dégg boo demee ñu naan la dem na parents ci seen bopp man xaw ma parents lu xew ndax nga daw seen responsibility la or what nga jël sa doom yóbbu ko si góor mu ñëw di la jooyal ne dañ maa dóor nga ko forcé pour mu toog si façon yi sëy yooyu noonu understand nga yow xam nga ne eventually toog si façon yi sëy boobu noonu mooy mu dee dañ ko rey
and yeah ma lifin rek because Walcott Jallow dafa am lu am solo lu mu wax and I want you to maybe just quickly comment on that mu ne ñun and it's all of us suñ parents yi dañoo seet ku financially stable seet koo xam ne xëj na oto yi bari na kër gi yanja na yaatu na waaye duñ seet na nit ki is mentally stable nit ki background on in terms of fu mu jógee in terms of lan la moo def xam nga ñun li gën a important maa ngi ko fi doon wax suma benn xarit li papaam doon laajte bi ko ñaari góor buggee keneen ki nekkat you know into di def jaay drugs lay mun a wax keneen ki am liggéeyam bu baax nekk professionnel di liggéey mu ne ko ne man su ma doon yow de soo ma doon déggal nga dem sëy ka am liggéeyam di goto ndanka waaye kooku moo am stability moo am ëllëg and exactly tey like I always say exactly tey kooku si lim bànneex bi mu nekk ak si stability bi mu nekk bu nekkoon a kale du ci nekk si du nekk si that kind of living moo tax I think li Walcott Jallow am na solo ñuy seet itamit yan façon nit la ñoo may suñ doom jóge na Europe ñu jox la ndax kii is mentally stable kenn xoolu ko ndax kii du dóorkat lana tax and I say ñun jigéen yi sax fi mu nekk nii nañ bàyyi di fone bu dóoree jigéen bi ba dem yow nga ñëw yow du la dóor parce que diamond moo nekk si sa lefin bi yow soo ñëwee yow you will be better than the woman kim doon dóor so yow du la dóor
suñ jigéen ñi wan leen ne yow kenn warut laa dóor kenn warut laa laal góor warut laa dóor ifin su ñëwoon tey soo ko wax as loolu foog naa mooy de was ñun suñ góor lu leen mën a rey right mooy jigéen góor ñëw fekkala si néega si diggi lalam right mu fekkala pour with another man sax amul right pour ikkati loxoom si yow you know lum la gën a mën a def mooy mu bàyyi la nga dem
definitely na la fase nga dem definitely
so ñun foog rek ñu door di won jigéen ñi ne sëy bi lu métti muñ fa poverty man bañu ma ko muñ fa you know ill health it's okay muñ fa every other thing then there's violence understand nga te nag loolu mama foog ñooy fuñ di ko wax ci kaw di ko wax jigéen ñi gis nga góor mama léegi nga dégg ko nga gis ko mu ñu dañ ko dee gis sax nga nekkaa góor gi nga dem foo defee foo demoon di la forcer xëcc sa téléphone all those are signs
of violence
so everyone lu mu la mun di jox lu mu la mun di defal he has no right to raise a hand
yeah ak ki ñoo wax ni ki Gambia ki rey jabaram because mu ne jabaram daf doon cheat on him mu jël ko patet la ko rendi tàggale boppa bi ak yaram bi ñu jox ko 7 years in prison
because they just sympathize xam nga ni nga mel so moytu so dem pay to those judges ñu joxe that you don't have that verdict. So most of them, they don't sympathize with these people because they have the tendency, they kind of sympathizing when you understand that perpetrators. They have a tendency of doing this, or they kind of understand you same side.
Yeah.
Understand what I mean? This kind of side, when you start, also try what I mean. So this is they sympathize with the bad guy, right? What are raise the suspicions because it shows the cook the first sympathize because this is the tendency of doing this. So lolo more time most of these judges now they just made up all this nonsense. But Gambia so ko wa na la all the suñ ñoo ya ci tamit ak suñ magistrate yi ak suñ judges yi tamit wala seetaat leen ñoom tamit man xaw ma ndax am na enough training ndax amul training ndax dem rek jàng university jeexal nga university xaw ma ku leen wax ne you just go to university you have your degree rek yow nga foog ne yow yes yow you are it you know yow defuloo benn proper training you in understanding Gambia and with the Gambian mindset and mentality, you expect the no use put them to decide on other people's life. So man, minimum understand. Just a glimpse of what I saw happen to this woman. Just fine. So you are already having this man ammunition next time. If this thing happens, you kill the person and nothing would happen.
Yep.
So man, the best thing we wanna do is to answer dog, which again answer dog, go to the you start telling them, go to raise hand. So I don't just diamond every single day, so I don't just every single day. What to take them ekati lahom lala. This woman lala man dey man mom. Just pamela no come. Man, go this wo ekati lahom. You touch me, I call the police. I don't care. I just do not care. You touch me once, I call the police on you.
Definitely.
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 Because then what you're doing is you are encouraging for dominate accept. You never violate like that. This is not only you, it's not only impacting on you, it's impacting on
it's okay. Yeah.
Because either more money is a perpetrator or more money is a victim of it. And they would accept it because this is the way they were brought up.
Definitely.
Thank you. Dependence. So we say go de la muna def yena because dafa xamne dana des legi go taka jigen rek mama lim la wax way hay dikaram de daf ko wax mu baye liggey ak nga gis jigen ñu bari ñu na dikaram mu baye est ko wax no so gisé mu ne la nga baye liggey is to control you kon bu la ko du la baye lo liggey ci ay bo mu nekk millionaire sax that should be your own decision. It shouldn't be his decision. He's doing that so he can control you because you will be dependent on him. You know, there's a lot of this stuff that I'll keep watching.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Yaf. Ñu continue. Paos, bëgg naa nga dugg balaa Nancy di ñëw. You know, I think li la Nancy wax is very important. We cannot make excuses for the law. We cannot make excuses or play devil's advocate with this because definitely it's so glaringly obvious that this was a miscarriage of justice. And we cannot continue to have these left. We have to complain to the Judicial Review Commission. When you said Judge Bidishanam, we have to appeal the decision, and we have to also put in a civil suit. These are the three things that we're working on. And all of these things, imaginal, it takes one mama, one Nancy, to write letters, to follow up, to all of these things. And you know, we spoke about it here. Teamwork, that's very important. Ko xamne yow mun nga bindal letter su fekke sa whatever be like come and volunteer to do that ko xamne yow mun nga advocacy work be come and volunteer to do that man like I always said I don't have any living with working with anybody as long as we work together to help the victims. I don't mind who you are or whatever, but let's come together as women ñu fight li diro wax dafa am solo de gis nga buñ toogee di xaar government dinañ fi yàgga foog ñu jóg fi mu nekk ni ñun ci suñ boppa ñu ut solutions for ourselves ñu xeex pour suñ boppa ñu am ñu protect women ourselves because ñun xam nañ fi you know ñun métit bi ñun xam nañ ko and xam nañ what we need to do to fight this and we cannot wait on government unfortunately Paos.
Xam nga mama gis na it's not about waiting government but it's about holding them accountable and making sure that mama you will you will find out we have the exact law to protect everybody in the Gambia. Why are you not using it is another thing. Now we about law schools right now. Gambia is the only country in the world where you have a university and going from year 1 to year 3 where you would never step a foot in a library or do the practical aspect of what you studied. I have a law student I have a friend who was studying law. They have nothing that they get their hands on. Madam, when the man starts my A-level law in like a GTI 2000, I was going to this lawyer, I forgot his name, smart type Mendy. Nola Amedam High Court. Now we have a university producing law graduate more than the whole Africa for now. Within a short time, being a since from day one until now. Now, moving forward, we had the loss in the Gambia. Now, but what we need to do now, we need to inject these institutions that are there. Gambia nga gis ku sol tay e uswa nek sa moto sa tinted glass nga dem liggéey, all you do 8 to 4 is 0. And you were there to serve and to protect Mama. But you wouldn't do that. You don't even know what Mama is doing right now. It's only in the Gambia where people don't hold accountable. Now, as activists, we cannot, and it's everywhere in the world, Mama. We cannot fight or we cannot stand shoulder with government.
No, we're not doing that.
I totally disagree with that part. Activists, the main role of activists is to fight for a cause, and most of the time they're fighting against the government on a particular cause. Activists should not be seen rubbing shoulders with government.
Okay.
It compromises the activists to be even rubbing shoulders with the government, because you're supposed to be seen on the other side of the cause. You cannot hold government accountable and be sitting attiring with them on the opposite side.
No. What I mean by that is, what I mean by right now, Moy. Now we all know Gambia knew there's a hamlet, the Gambia government of since 65 all governments has failed. Now we have institutions that were not functioning, and we have seen every year our budget going out to the billions of dollars every year. Now we wonder, where is that money going to right now? Now, as activists, now what we do right now, Moy, I'm a joint force where we lobby and advocate for these policies to change, to reflect and to address the needs of the Gambian people. If a law is not of any good to any Gambian, it's not a law. Now, we have seen the examples of demo or in fact, example Sabali. Liko Dalte is as a result of a bad law, which we should have changed.
Let's focus
I'm just giving an example of bad laws need to be changed. And it's not so mantay da sumaraka daluko. Or neko sumaraka mama, I don't care. It's not my business. They can bari wax. I'm not borbo hamne. The bad law
as Gambians.
Now, the bad law that is silent on this case is, and there is another similar bad law that is silent on Lingahamne. It affects me on another angle. Now, what we need to do in that case again, Moy, a unified joint force. Jangabini Lukodal Nitaiji is a starting point to trigger either a new law and a review in this case and a sentence be levied against and a new policy that will address these things, and also to trigger our police force to go into detailed and in-depth training in highlighting the first signs of abuse. Now, it's not new. BP 2019 in the UK, 7 agencies failed this child. 7, and we are in a developed country called the United Kingdom. 7 agencies failed this child. Now, Gambia, we only, when we have agencies, we only know about social welfare. Now, social welfare, who are they working with to know the welfare of a child in Kejarga? Who are they working with to know the welfare of a child in Bakote? They don't even have a car if you call them. And they and our good number of our budget is allocated to social welfare. UK right now, our increase in 1.25 in national insurance is going to the health and social care. And that is the protection of women and the welfare of adults and children. So now, why can we, or why can activists come together and stop being these segments activism? It's not going to work. Man,
Can I land? You and Aneta are making a good point, but I want to also highlight that in addition to activism, there's lobbying. So maybe we don't have strong lobbying, but let us not confuse the roles of the two. There's activism and there's lobbying. Activism and natural resistance to government doing business as usual. Lobbying, they work from inside the government to influence policy. So there's activism and lobbying, and I think that you guys are confusing the two.
No, man, what I'm saying right now is for us to do two things: to advocate and also to lobby.
Yes,
we
so
are
we
trying
can
to
do
achieve
both.
two things.
And
Yes.
the two cannot work in tandem because activists are more like resistance than lobbyists.
Yeah, but activists these are movements that influence or that lobby or advocate for the or for government to change a legislation or policy. And now in this specific area, Janghabi right now take the case bini. So you go follow way up right now. We can achieve a national. It could go viral to the whole world. And it has to go because you many li haputa ben xale bo xamne xamata ma yu melni man dumay xamel di fu sori fa nga xale buñ la kon tankami bañ ko woné nothing happened xale bo after fa nga xale bo xamne tam bir kama ki ne papa moko biral ba step mo da mu nan su su waxe daf ko yaxasi mi mu ko dor gomu ko we have seen these things all on social media. They are all on my phones. I have them. But what has we achieved from those cases? What? Since then, after that, charities have been formed in the name of fighting those cases. Alanute, cancer. Where are we today with cancer? How much? So, until we stop our, because humanly, this is a national cause. It takes a lot, and it should take a lot of us to come together to have a movement to protect the rights of women and children. Tell effect of in Gambia, one thing monyo our culture is a barrier. These things are happening every single day. Do gis benen imam bo xamne mu ngi meye dom mu ngi sey lum ko wax moy muñal rek o sa sey su ko tassé suma ke do fi ñëwaat. These are what they tell their parents because of culture and belief that are very strong in us and in our family. You cannot separate man and culture. You cannot separate man from his beliefs. It's not possible. Now, what we need to do, desensitize one learning in as much as you are adhering to your culture and beliefs, there are limits, and these are your rights. Now, how much right do women have in society? These are things that we also need to question. Yes, Islam Monica give women right, Islam Monica respect right. So either way, you so excuse you being an imam, you am lo foko wer because silinga gom silinga juli yo lolo ni katira jigen. Yo so ne kute imam nga neka tubab yo xam nga ne human right, there are millions of women acts that protect the right of women. So there either way there is no excuse. Now, what stopped them from implementing these things is because of we do not have the good people in these places and need them the activists on the ground. Remember, we are here in the UK. All we could do more give out the message, raise fund, and send the money. But the bigger part of the job lies within the people in the Gambia. Mama telling you right now, telling you Sonko Uni, Kiku receive. Just an example. Munanko nasi gina be andigi saku sugur. We korbange so and so many funds have come in the Gambia. So these are things the obstacle and the barrier is between us and the victims. And
this
also
money is going directly towards getting a house. Bohamna is going to be used as a safe haven for these women and their children. And we're going to rent the house for 1 year and then see how we can work on long-term having the house so that any cases like this or an emergency, even at night, we have somewhere to go and take these kids. That's what we're going to do with this money.
There are some business people approach it. I will tell you, but these are approaching cancer foundation. every time we knock on this guy's door, the
ñu ngi fii ni ñaata episodes ñëpp ñu ngi wax about what we're doing on social issues, but you approach these businesses and they still nobody is supporting anything. Then the problem is
trust me.
bi moom mun
That's
nañ
the
ko de waaye
problem.
du support.
As
Waaye
Paul
nañ
was discussing, I'm just
Gambien waaye nañ
thinking,
jël bu ñu continuer.
I have my foundation since 2013 in Zambia. Dara, you go and knock on doors, nobody responds.
Opportunity, because to be honest with you, jigéen bi nga gis yaramam bi nga nekk doomi aadama doon góor am jabar am raka bu jigéen am yaay sa yaram dawul meruloo parewuloo te def dara kon yow am na lu la jot. Understand nga? So lii dafa nekk situation boo xam ne Pa Ous lu mu wax ni lii is an opportunity géej la boo xam ne war ngeen ko ubbi to extend even media si bari war nañoo pick lii fu mu nekk nii sutura social media Facebook na fii la amee njëriñ. Understand nga? sutura buñ moo isi lii bañ àgga fii suñu ustaas yu nekk Gambia gis nga sensitization bi def dee dox. Because man fan la agree loolu mooy ñun ñu doon nekkoon si youth activities ni Pa Ous can agree with me ñu nekkoon si award scheme here and there ñaata nit a am njëriñ loolu fu mu nekk nii seen circumstances now 75% of those people involving in those kind of youth activities ñoom ñëpp make nañ ko up. Understand nga? So lii tamit dafa nekk loo xam ne dañ war nañ ko isuwaat to that level te man nag su man ustaas yi laa nekk di waxal comme ñu ne dinañ xeex gamo yonent yi deful ko dinañ xeex ziyaare yonent bi deful ko fan lañ gisee yonent bi nee na dóor na jabaram o wax na saxaaba si dóor leen seen jabar kon nañ fi waxte de ñu bàyyi naxaate nañ bungee wéeru si gannaaw islam bi su fekkee ne loolu dagan la lu dagan si islam te yow nga ne lu yonent bi def ngay def lu tere nga tere ko danga ne dunda na ba dee defut gamo defuloo ko xanaa kan si ustaas yi o ku mun a taxaw mun a ne yonent bi dégg naa ñu ne dafa door jabaram o dafa digal saxaba si ni pour ñu door seen jabar so yow fan nga mun a ba pare lii yëpp soo gisee mu àgga to this level foofu la dee ñëwee because su xewee rek ñu ne yëfi diine la ñu daw si benn imam understand nga imam bi ñëw si soxna si naan ko ne muñal understand nga muñ mook yàlla si boppam sax dafa ànd ak nit kuy muñ understand nga waaye muñ bi tamit dafa am sarta si li nga war a muñee because pa yi suñoo taka waxuma yeneen yi de waaye suusi suñoo takee every day ñu naan ne jox nañ la jabar de waaye bu sandi ne njàng loolu te wotaalee loolu dinañ ko dee wax waaye duñ ko dee implement so jigéen gi yaramam nu mel nii ak góor gi nu ko def nii fu mu nekk nii lii benn sutura waru tata ñu def ko gannaaw ba kenn mënu koo yëg lii fu mu nekk nii Al Jazeera sax war nañ koo yëg even Sky sax
definitely
because suñ système bi su fekkee ne lii lañ Gambian yi lañ yaakaar fu mu nekk nii yow xam nga ñaata nit dañuy dem si jigéen bi sax because moom kenn la thousands of people are coming yow muñal lii noonu la melee boo dee mi mooy sa njëriñ kan moo dee ba dem mu enjoy ko ñëwaat na ne man de suma jëkkër ma door ba ma dee léegi fu mu nekk nii ma ngi enjoy tàndarma si aljana yaa ngi koo dégg nga gis ko ñun ñëpp a bugg a dem aljana waaye nañ dem si aljana ak wér bu yaram nga dugg aljana ak sa fresh body bi nga enjoy ko moo gën ñu ne suma jëkkër moo dama suma loxo suma baajen mu ne ma muñal mbaate ma ñëw wax suma papa jóg imam bi naan ko ne dafa it's not part of it, it's not part of Islam. ku dem bu ekkati loxom bi billahi mama mu dóor jigéenam bi bem ko xam because sariya sax soo defee lu bon ñu ne duñ la suñu laa dooree sax sa loxo waruñ koo ekkati si kaw kon nga xam ne dóor Islam àndut ak dóor loxo bi sax waruta àgga si sa mbaga de si kaw tuuti la ñu laas la
saka ngay jël ay weñ di jël moto ne danga koo dawal si kaw jigéen
nga jël loolu soo bu jigéen bu la defal loolu soo gisee tas sey mu dagal liyata soo leen àndul am na sarta yu si nekk soo ko nobutee bàyyi ko bul ko dóor Islam mu ne bul ko dóor dama ko yaaxal loo xam ne dina am mandarga boo xam ne keneen su ko gisee sax du ko bugga ngir loolu noonu loolu soxor la sista so fu mu nekk nii lii buñ ko baa soo ko bàyyee loxo government fu mu nekk nii xam nga nit ku ñuul ñun sutura bi buñ amoon suñ société bi alhamdulilah social media bi mu koo faj léegi nañ capitalize si loolu media si yëpp ñu jéene ko su ko defee ñu am jàmm waaye lii gis this is terrible man
definitely
daw na yaram de waaye fu mu nekk nii yéen a ngeen def lu baax ba pare jëla gis ne media house yi nekk si Gambia suñ lifi nii na
hello Bon
Network issue. Mama, can I come in? I actually have to go deal with Zaid myself. It's late. Just to kind of wrap up.
Yeah.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
No, I'm okay. All right. Unfortunately, I have to go. My son is around today. I hope you guys will donate to the GoFundMe to really help this woman find accommodation. For those of you who are capable, a 2-bedroom house in Gambia range anywhere from 150,000 to 170, 80,000. So we're talking about $2,000 or $3,000 for the year. The goal is, and I know someone mentioned about women. I want to say that this woman is a hardworking woman. What fueled the fight was the fact that she runs a business between Gambia and Nigeria where she goes back and forth and sell goods. She gave her money to this guy. She's doing construction. The first time pakiram, and the man decided to spend the money. That was what fueled this whole fight. So limoneka nga amel mo suma halis dur ma si bapare buga money. That was what fueled this whole fight. So limoneka nga amel mo suma halis dur ma si bapare buga money. That was what fueled this whole thing. I hope you guys would donate. The GoFundMe is there. If you're in Gambia and you want to donate or help in any way or capacity, please reach out to me. I'm here. And Ramadan Mubarak. I wish I could stay longer. I know this show was supposed to be a fundraising really to help those in need. But this week, Gambian women have suffered so much in the hands of our male counterparts all around the globe. It's not just limited to Gambia. The lady who was brutally murdered in Canada, and I'm sure she would have justice. But guess what? She left behind a baby who's not even 1 year old. Like these are the stories, and you've seen their faces on social media. I hope and I pray that we will all come together. Somebody just said this. We need one voice. It is so hard to fight this fight because you have some women who, like Mama would say, label us as feminists. I'm sorry, God damn it. I would wear that flag like a joy and a pride. There's absolutely nothing more honorable than fighting for your fellow woman. There's absolutely nothing more respectful than fighting for your own woman. And it's not every time that we come on social media. If this case was supposed to go the way it did, it would not have made it to social media because Mama and I we were walking behind the scenes. And the only reason we came on social media was after that body came in. And we realized that they literally walked in there, a group of men made a decision without the victim. So I am appealing, and if there's any woman out there who is watching and you are in an abusive relationship, reach out to one of us. If you're not in the Gambia, if you are lucky to be in either Europe or the US, call. If you're in America, call 911.
Nance, there are two Gambian women. Okay, Nance problem. I'm network problem. Currently, we have two Gambian women in the US, Diro, who I'm talking to and counseling, who have same issues. Violence, góor bi mu ngee dóor, and these góor yi fi mu nekk nii, at some point, billahi, I will take these pictures and just put it out there. Because dama sona. Yéen ak maa déglu, there are two men in America. ñoo xam ne xëj na am na seen close family yi xam nañ, whatever. Kenn ki moom mental torture, man maa la fi indi, so dama laa torture ni ma neexee mentally. Xam naa ne physically su ma la laalee police yi ñëw, waaye dinaa la torture mentally ba nga xam ne yow di doo nekkati nit. keneen ki moom dafa dóor jabaram ba mu bugg a dee because mu ne moom moo ko indi foofu noonu US jabaram to amount to nothing xaw ma naka man mënuma understand soo indee sa jigéen bi to the US nga toog ba nga foog ne léegi yow buggatuloo ko ngir yàlla bàyyi ko mu dem jarul dóor bi jarul yeneen bu fekkee ne lii yëpp jaru ko fi yow boo ko joxee kayit itamit yow keneen moo la jox kayit waaye wala yàlla bi la jox kayit sa daf ko jaarale si nit nga am kayit kenn ñëwut fii rek am kayit ku nekk yàlla daf ko jàllale because yàlla du musa wàcca yow mu jox la kayit boobu noonu soo ko joxee beneen doomi adama itamit nekkut ne yow because jox nga ko kayit boobu yow yaa ko moom pour nga jàpp ko def ko punching bag wala pour nga jàpp ko def ko sa mental def ko slave si kër gi di ko mentally torture di ko def yoo xam ne is just unbelievable. We have 2 cases at the moment of women in the US so waxee ñu ne la su ma demee dinañ ne waaw moo ma jox kayit duma mun a dem. It is crazy and we're going to dinañ fi toog wax ba ñu toog ñu lose these women or comme li xew Canada yàlla tere ko mu xew ñu lefin. Why we cannot make the decision for them to leave because that decision can only come from them. We cannot force any woman or tell any woman to leave their marriage. You have to decide that decision has to be yours. Why ngir yàlla bàyyi leen di toog si these mentally abusive and these physically abusive relationships. Mental abuse is as bad as physical abuse because yow amuloo scars yi pour woon kenn de waaye sa biir boppa bi ak sa biir yow si sa boppa yow yaay scars yi fa nekk sa mënuloo koo wax and the kind of lum laa mun a jural stress boobu ak yeneen yi lim laa mun a jural kenn mënula koo wax ngir yàlla bàyyi leen di noppal these violent men ñu leen a dóor si biir néeg yi ngeen noppi sutura bi dina jeex de billahi bun di sutura dina jeex because dinañ toog may génne seen nataal yi di ko def fanga si Facebook bi di wax ak di lifin ak ñoom this góor moom
like Nancy. Mama, if you don't want to do it, just give it Nancy. She will name and shame.
No, it's you cannot be, but definitely, this week has been one of my toughest weeks in activism. Billahi, been done here, Jamisa. This week has been tougher than that for me. Because seeing the amount of women, the amount of women that came to me, and these are people you see Facebook be. And you would feel that these women are empowered, they're educated, they're everything. You ngi talk see these abusive relationships. Talk. I do not get this.
The chains that bind us are more than physical. It's not only physical, it's
no man. Dear Omar, something. Your wife has a to me. If you do not stop, do we like it?
Mama, let me tell you one story. Gis nga last week ajuma bi ñu amee programme ci samedi bi.
Fatou Badji mu ngi def the link to the GoFundMe. Please go in and try and help us to fund so that at least we can raise funds and get at least a place as soon as possible pour ñu dugal fa jigéen bi ni nga xam ne we will use the same place as well, and if we have other victims ñu mun leen a dugal si kër gi ni at least ñu am somewhere foo xam ne suy nekk benn 4-5 bedrooms sax dinañ ko mun a use for victims of violence at least temporarily ba gaay mun a get on their feet. So please help us. The GoFundMe link is on. Fatou Badji ko tag léegi nii is on. maa ngi ko def si lefin bi ngeen duga please ngeen support. We have to do something. Why yen mi neka America neka fenen yen at least you have the system to protect you. Don't sit there comme jigen bi neka Canada ñu jël dumbbell door la ko ba rey la nga dee. Imaginal paos dumbbell lolu that kind of physical violence dumbbell.
Mama man lolu gëmuma ko way. Ma man pengu rek suma yaram bi pengu rek.
No, Mama, a lot of people they can like the thing is a lot of some guys, not a lot, but some guys, they tell me, oh, it's not true, like some people are even thinking that it's true. Like it's like, no, people, it is real, it is happening just because you are not experiencing it.
Dilo man suma do suma dom sa suma tay beta dama day xati bam fo tay mo de mo ngay nanka do nanka. I can't imagine. No, because I can't imagine a human being. Mama, these people, they are not normal. Because a proper normal human being with all his senses functioning, they'll win. Because an animal talk less of human being.
Huh? Definitely, Anita, as man dama phone man, I need counseling because this week man suma bopa lima go through the kind of pictures that I have seen, the kind of harrowing things that I am hearing. Man si suma bopa, I need counseling. Du chahan dama de tida be gudi duma muna nelaw. Suma bopa bi di meti, ma stress be man foguma ne these few days am na sa nelaw bu correct du chahan. Definitely li nga wax ni degala de. Nataal yi ngeen a gis si kaw billahi ñi ma contact si ron di wax ak man di ma won seen nataal ak di ma wax li gaay di go through no pas os man moo tax man billahi di ngeen ma wax dama angry waaye I am angry.
No, yeah,
and you have every right to be.
I feel you.
Every right to be angry.
Hama Gambia lamo fa ñaka te was important. What I see here in Europe happen more. For example, you have a home for example, destitutes or women abuse. And these homes are run by charities and people donate. Now, there are projects that I see in the UK or homes that are funded by charities and is in the millions, in the billions. Now, in the Gambia, are people willing to give 1 million out, 100,000 out to a charity to run a home? Now, when I went to that home in Bakote, dama dam gis fa xalé ba ma amuñ lal bu baax ba pay xangalu gaay leka bima ubé sen store bi. They have like seen high they mix dugub at mboha at ay la togal guy jox gaay di leka ma gis fa ay jigéen ñi nga xamne dañ indi gaay from Nigeria wan leen soo ñu égé Gambia da nga am liggéey ba soo ñëwee fekk dama ti sa passport bi nga liggéey parce que certain time nga fay sama xaalis. Yeah, I went there bima duggé fofu Cham Tar is my witness. Mané ko mané dem na way soo demee soo fekkee nekkuloo jooykat bu dem parce que ku fa dugote jooyloo soo génnee amuloo xol. And we needed those things, and most of these things, Mama, you successful in the world are run by charities, not government. Yes. Now this is an extension
by citizens.
Yes, thank you.
By us.
Yes, so this is an extension of this Gambia social welfare. But same budget do you do? Malaji waji meneko. Na ngene amé halis. Amun helpline telephone den ko sponsor, but legi amuñ ko. But there are few kids in there. Fofu la gisé xalé bo xamné omam bi tanka bi ben bi dafa gudda ben bi ci om la dok. Xalé yo xamné amna ben xalé fo nekkon fokk tane san ku juddu won am this big head bu yama ya ba bu am bi dafa dé sax. Amna xalé bo xamné xam nga fa la ngeen xalé bo am 13 years te biir won te ñu né one of example bi bim juddu gaay tudé dom mi jikay Fanta Bay Seka Ousmane xale bu flaka feka su fekkee ñu mas daan dégg that case and ma gis ne jigéen ñi fa nekka ma waxtaana gaay how do you survive, and I can see the reason why ñu bari dee dem di cakatu because they need to survive. Now I wanted to see people like Anita, like Seytouré, like Fatou Badji, like Mama, like Nancy Dro tey ñi like aji dafe naka Teta warriors, people like Facham Sar, Ipinyasi, come together and this charity they have your own home whereby constantly raising funds and getting subvention from government. While it requires a legal route to have these structures and be eligible and be qualified.
We're working on something, definitely. Fatou Baji, where this fundraiser, this Sunday we have a meeting to talk about this long term, what we're going to do. But definitely we have to do something, and it's just unfortunately Dal, definitely this week has been very tough for Gambian women, and boneke gor, and I'm appealing to men, I'm appealing to women, mange appeal si yaay yi nga xamne ñu ci biir kër yi di seetaan this abuse, mang leen a ñaan ngir yàlla yonente bi boo gisee sa doom di dóor jabaram billahi boo munee paak sa doomi jaabur bi nga delloo ko kër yaay ma papaam def ko. Bàyyi leen di seetaan this abuse happening in your home because your child is doing it, wala sa càmmiñ mu ngi koo def nga noppi ngir yàlla dawala leen yërmande. Xale yi sonna nañ, ñii sey sonna nañ, ñu ngi dem ba nekk si problème boo xam ne paos gis nga yenn jigéen yi sa li ñoo def ñu ngi koo def out of frustration, out of xamuñ sax fi mu nekk nii li ñoo def. And a lot of women are sick fi mu nekk nii because of this mental, physical abuse. Te mu ngi xew si kër yi and those kër billahi kilifa yaa ngi koo gis kilifa yi
Xam nga
dawal
ma-
leen yërmande su nekkoon sa doom bu jigéen na di nga seetaan lii
xam
man
nga
laa
mama
wax xale bu jigéen biir ba 10 jëkkëram di ko dóor si biir kër gi yaayi jëkkëram mu ngi si kër googu noonu di seetaan lii nii
soxor
waaw waaye ma
there's
xanaa
another
jigéen
woman
boobu
koo xam ne you know and you know Aji Fatou you asked a question here lu tax jigéen yi dee toog si sëy bi parce que dangaa dem jooyal sa mbokka kenn du la faale
waaw
man
waaye
ay
mama
biir
xanaa
man li ngeen xam ne man da ngeen maa oyee sa empowered and whatever man si suma boppa dal na ma dangaa dem nga jooy kenn du la faale dangaa dem nga explain kenn du la faale it is only when it gets to the extreme ñu door di understand what the situation is ñu door sax di la déglu jigéen yi amuñ any help nga dem wax ko sa xarit nga génn mu réya ngum call keneen this is what is happening this is why people are even afraid to talk to people man ñi ma di they don't know me from Adam xamuñ ma waaye yaakaar rek gannaaw yàlla moo tax ñu ma call di ma explain seen situation pa os and these are people ñoo xam ne some of them are doo leen ooyee sax poor women they are empowered women but they're going through this pa os
ma understand waaye nga ma li ma ñaan rek mooy yu mel ni like lu kii wax Anita how about men xam nga nañ ci boole góor ñi ba pare jigéen ñi léegi-léegi nañ waxtaana góor ñi because of léegi-léegi comme li nga wax rek dangaa dem wax ni sa soxla jigéen mu dem uñu ko Facebook o dem toog la jiw feneen right now but there are am na góor ñi nga xam ne soo waxtaanee léegi-léegi they do give the emotional the advice bi nga am at that comfort that hour ma déglu nga wax rek it does help mama last Sunday the same thing moo happen this is a girl a woman jëkkër ji dafa dem toog Gambia lépp xaalis bu bari dem toog we are calling people to raise funds because jàng bi dafa dem ba commit to a mortgage ñe su faytee dafa lose deposition bi right now and you mel ni mama is happening bañuma jëkkër ak jabar si kër ñoo dëkka there are bound to be problems but let's identify let's segregate the usual problem and the unusual problems and the signs of a likelihood of an abuse taking place. Now, this thing, mama, is going to be very hard for this campaign to go through. You know why? Because ñun suñ school yi jàngaluñu go satja su lay dóor soo amee wrong soo léetee mu dóor la su naa dem school soo ñaay tubéy double pour su na doyee bu lifin right now sooy am mental grade ñu laa ñef ñu laa dóor in school. How are they going to teach you the signs of abuse at a third person in class? So these kids, some don't you makte or some don't you makte Gambia right now. What are the system in place to teach them to identify early signs of abuse in the school? Because abuse starts in school itself, and wherever you find safety, that's where it starts. Right now, safety and security, Coco like fan la smoker. Fan la next right now.
Abuse is happening there.
But that's what I'm talking about. Now these things is happening from where you think you find comfort and security. More the home, the school, the workplace. Listen better be more what happening. But this is where we need to start from. Now, having these things like, for example, Anita, Limoda already helped these children. I'm sure they have a department to tell these kids identify or they do go counseling and courses or online courses or seeing videos. Most of these things, you don't require a course. What you need more, see a presentation once in a while to identify early signs of abuse and domestic abuse right now. Right now, we start a new course called Dignity at Work. And these things include respecting the human life and the human and respecting individuals as how they are and sexual harassment. So not Gambia, do we have these policies in place in any workplace? Younger Gambia, cookies in the high jabar, pam, siwang, high jabar, high simbaga. Those things are inappropriate touching. But do we have those policies in the Gambia in place? Now, I'm something going on right now. This fight is not just women alone. And feminists, man like na what is the opposite of feminists? How much opposite of feminists? Lan la goes neke so na group empower jigen loen ko oye.
Feminists, go empower jigen feminists la.
You know?
Go empower jigen feminists la.
So So
Yeah.
boy, you see,
And you know, Pa Os yaa ngi wax lu am solo, and I think next time we all go on holiday, especially, unfortunately, December daf dee fekk xëj na school si di waaj a tëj or ñu tëj, but I think ne you know, we have to also come up with plans yoo xam ne we will get people like Fatou Baji, people like Anita, you know, people that have expertise in these areas, myself, yourself, Nancy, we go into these schools and start talking to children, because I think that we cannot continue to normalize violence in our homes, in kids, in anything. So I think it's time we be more proactive in even going into schools, talking to children, going to the police, trying to see how we can engage them so that they can understand some of these issues and really try to help these victims. I think, you know, again, we cannot do everything on our own, but I think that we have very dynamic women within us that can really do some of these things. And we need to plan so that holiday, we know that we are going. We will spend at least 1 week of community service, denying them into the schools. We will go to the police. We will do whatever it takes to advocate and to raise awareness about what is happening. Definitely, because Doinawar, and you know, we were supposed to do fundraising for help, you know, like the home in Bakote and other places during the Ramadan to help, you know, these things. But we haven't been able to do that because of everything that we're talking about what's going on. We have 2 women that have died this week due to domestic violence. We have another one who has been butchered and the husband has walked away with a $2,000 fine. And we are now raising funds for, you know, to try and see how best we can get a home, at least emergency. We also need to think about how we can raise funds to help some of these vulnerable families, etc. And so, you know, if you want to also support that, you know, let's start with contact me on Lingette Post, and we will see how best you can send the money directly to Gambia. And Nancy and Amina Jain can work on at least new jail some of these provisions and send it. Or even there are also Baluwo and I think Kalilu and Gay Nyoro. You can buy something for Linger Post, ngeen nañu la lii jëndal nañ leen ko from Kalilu, and Nancy or Amina Jain can pick it up. And then they will take it to the yeah, and Farm Fresh, yes. So, you know, you can go in online, you don't need to give money. You can go in online, Baluwo, Kalilu, Nakala to the and what do you call it again? Baluwo, Kalilu, Farm Fresh, all of these places, ngeen jënda opare ñom Amina Jagne ak Nancy, they can pick it up and go and give it out to these vulnerable places, including the shelter at Bakote, SOS Children's Home, and other places. Your hamna definitely it's a strain for them, especially during Ramadan. Again, you know, we will continue to try and do what we can to help, to advocate, to support, to work with government to see how best we can mitigate some of these situations. But definitely this week has been very tough on us. I think, you know, yeah, seeing some of Natalie ngeen gis ci kaw Natalie nekk ci ron sax moo gën a brutal and moo gën a doy waar, and to feel ne lii góor mooy jël nga jël belta o nga jël weñ o nga jël whatever door ko jigéen. I think that definitely yéen góor yi boo leen xamee itamit sa seen moromi góor yi koy def, please sensitize leen, ngeen waxtaan ak ñoom ñu bàyyi li ñoo def. Definitely nañuy dawalante yërmande. Soo demee nag ba gis ne jigéen ji def la métti, mënuloo ko staan, ngir yàlla génne ko mu dem rek, nga fase ko mu dem. Waaye yéen yi moom definitely jaru ko. Pa Ous ma bàyyi la nga dugga foofu noonu ñu jéem a tëj
pour wax rek ne nit yi ñu ngi si weeru koor, well almost ñu ngi si weeru koor right now, te ku nekk xam na weeru koor jarul ñu koy waxaat fii right now. Waaye weeru koor fanaa dañ dee gën a mburum koor at zakat, time is zakat. So foog naa xaw ma nag whether some people maybe they have people ñi nga xam ne dañ miin di ko jox, waaye foog naa tamit the part of the 9 miskin yi nga xam ne sarax dafa leen yelloo, foog naa these people foog naa they are part of those 9 ñi nga xam ne amuñ but dañ seen ngor may dañu gën a dem di ñaani o di cagatu di, foog naa kooku is part of the 9 miskin. So ñi nga xam ne nag ñu ngi fas pour or ñu ngi leen a ñaan tamit seen zakat yi, you know, soo neexee sax léegi-léegi sax GoFundMe dafa take percentage te ñu ne yow ut.
Yeah.
If you have direct so many APS direct to Nancy.
Yeah, and balaa maa paate you know, bun Bun, thank you so much. Xam naa ne bëgguloo sax ñu wax ko, but some of the medical fees for this woman is actually being sponsored by Bun. So yónnee na xaalis bi Gambia directly pour jigéen bi mu pick ko up pour mu mun a fay for dressing and everything. So ñu ngi ko wax moom itamit jërëjëf. Am na ñeneen itamit ñu ñu contact both in Gambia and stuff. And we will try and see again how best we can get the money to Gambia, as well as the GoFundMe pour yëfi kër bi tamit ñu ngi si kawam waaye soo leen bëggee itamit pour just help out in any way possible, just reach out. Yeah, and we'll do our best. But thank you to every one of our followers and listeners. Definitely du ñu dee bàyyi pa aussi yi ñoo def ni ñoom ñëpp dañ dee taxaw di ñu jàppale.
jërëjëf ma comme li ma wax rek weeru koor la time weeru koor raf naa li si waay def rek di nga gis di nga njëriñu di wax tamit ne time please seen mburum koor yi ngeen dee génnee ak zakat yi ngeen dee génnee o asaka yi ngeen dee génnee xëj na we have an opportunity here Linger Post start as a Facebook live program. Now we are thinking of having a home now. So we are thinking of taking over the government for now. So why this sky is the limit, you many I think we are only speaking of the ones that we know. Why am I the more we speak, the more we have
like I said, jigen bi kesam so gisee ma indi ko si kaw is because of the judgment bi here. Why ni ko non sa hit na ñu bari duñ ko doon yek o xam sax ne this brutality went on in the Gambia and the case was going to court.
Mama, I don't want to believe anybody in the Gambia so not once na buy this case slip like this with this $2,000 fine or how much £20 fine. I don't think that anybody in the Gambia among that whole criminal buy with this, why anyway man dal I do things that coming away mob justice man and then bima Gambia sir, I went to Mile to see a friend being hamne is the opposite side, the same thing. Case waterman is still pending. Every day I call these people, man, what are we gonna do? But I'm focused on justice, not about yen uden halis lumoleka. Man, right now I'm gonna make sure we have a lawyer and that guy die and that person die in Mile 2. Man, that is my belief in. I believe in.
Kuneka dal out there. If you are very good at writing letters, let us know because we need to send a complaint to the Judicial Review Commission. Put new review this magistrate at decision be mujel. And that is very important. We're also looking to appeal this decision. So you can work with the police on that. We also have to bring in a civil case, and that is if I can flag knowing on board, then we have to pay for that as well. Put Musu the guy and get some compensation, proper compensation for this as well. So these are some of the things that are going on top of trying to get a house, a safe haven for her and other victims that we are also working with. And also, all the other stuff that are going on. But, thank you so much for all of you, to all of you that have donated to the GoFundMe so far. And we're appealing to you to continue to donate because definitely that's the only way that we can really help these victims that we're working on. And like we said, we cannot come Genelen Natali or Genelen, a lot of these things that we're working on. But, we can assure you, definitely there are so many people in need of help in Gambia. And we cannot sit down and just cross our legs and feet and hands and say that we're not going to get involved. We have to help. Paos tejal den diro tej.
Wow, jërëjëf and ñi nga xam ne ñu ñoo seetaan every single day. Foog na programme tey bi was designed for something else ni wéru koor bi. Waaye gis nga rek jaam ak pexeem yàlla ak dogalam. But we will still be here right now. Waaye xanaa kenn dafa nekk in a different style because of time you dog at time you julli gee at naafila yooyu yëpp waaw te xam nga man soo si I need 5 hours of continuous eating pour mun a survive the following 14 hours so ñëw fi du gaaw every single time waaye jërë ngeen jëf te man anything like this regardless of whoever it is you have my full support well sometimes dama dee du may gaaw a def nag but then they listen to see the end results and then I ask questions right now because then I guess you most of them are not genuine we appreciate the wall nehatut tey maa ngi tey benn post UK ñun fii tey ñu ngi struggle big time sax yëpp a yokku right now waaye lu mu yokku dañoo dee bàyyi ko fi te mama li ñoo mee liggéey ñu ñoo ko liggéey génnee benn si fukka yaxalut sa mbaax dara doo yokkal la wàññi right now te ki nga ko jox tamit kooku la moo yokkal rek so we will appreciate every penny and nekku ne dañoo sama mbayande but I have a sister and I have once lii lu mel nii mus naa koŋ-koŋ suma kër booba bëgg naa dem mama mënuma dem nit maa ngi toog fii ama flight te su ma demoon tamit da di ko time bi ñu ma go foni pour sama bi Gambia waaye yaa def ndofu seer right now amul luñ bëgga amul justice because of dëkk bi di mel moo tax so ku toog tey naan ñii dañ bari wax o mama dafa am lu ko naxari o nan se am lu ko naxari o doo nangam nii soo laawtee yow am na bu laa laal boo xam ne di nga jóg tey bu ko koŋ-koŋ doy mama waaye gàcce mu laati te doomi adama nag bu lee always wax naan duma dal o bokkuma ma because of loolu baaxul because ëllëg soo dalutee na dal sa xarit o koo xam o sa mbokka su di ñaan yaa rek am wér ko bu ñoo dugg si nii yéen si dugg ak jaama yaa nangu cun or ba pare lépp luñ si ñaan yaa nangu ñu ko ba pare di ginaa ñaan góor ñi nga xam ne tamit ni dawal yërmande waaw képp koo xam ne da nga amee jigéen yaa dénka la ko xamal ne jigéen su motoon li mu war a mel ni kon duñ ko mayee waaw ni kon dafa toog fële jigoo toog fële waaw kii na kaay kañu dem ko sax ku nekk mat na sa ku nekk mat na waaye matari jigéen moo tax ñu ko mayee di ko muur di ko joxe su maa ngi appel to góor ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi déglu yéen maa xool yi da ngay am jigéen yoo xam ne léegi-léegi man léegi-léegi I make a mistake man tam in my house waaye I move on ma xam ne tey ma accept because of sëy noonu la moo dafa neex tey ëllëg mu naxari waaye bul mer ba seytaan ñëw uppala doole te ñu ne time yi mer rek la seytaan day ñëw di happen yi right now te foog mu ne koo amal doom mama mu nga koo mën a bañ ba jël banta waxuma banta sax léegi ay dombe lay dégg di ko dóor ak ay wëñ loolu is the height of inhuman loolu you do it with your sound mind te loolu man mi jàngut loo sax mun naa taxaw ne hey acca go mu jeex tak amul benn court law amul benn fine you have to go waaye we don't have to blame the lawyers sometimes mama nañ yàlla baax na fu ñu bëgg a aaga daal yenañ fa aaga parce que xam ne dëkk bi mama lu fa yaaxu is too much toog fii tey di ko wax mënu koo fix mënuñ koo fix ñun we are here most of these things luy happen yëpp suñu yàlla defoon tey ji tey ñu nekk tey Gambia wallahi things be different waaye ndegam ñoo moo toog fii right now tey ji bàyyi suñu soxla di wax an li xew Gambia mu ñoo naxari kon wa nga xam ne kon we are concerned but what can we do waaye xëy na suñu baat mun naa aga fu suñu tànka munta aga xëy na suñu post tey mun naa aga fu suñu tànka munta aga that's all we could do the ultimate decision and the big players are the ones in the Gambia yéen jigéen waxoon naa ko fi sooy sëy nañ tànn suñu jëkkër suñu jabar yi mama all begins in the first day nañ jàngal suñu doom yi love is important waxuma love yi foo wolle o ma ponkal let's try to learn to love lii yëpp lu ko waral mooy mama xol yi bëggante wuñ xol yi xat na and ñun xamuñ luy love let's teach our kids how to love love is important de waaw te nag tey nag moom ma daanal right now thank you very much suma ñaari jabar yi nga xam ne tey seen sufi ndogu ami collège Diouf moom desaan ak Anita moom ba tey moom nangu waxul waaw ba déet suma jabar aku ma bugg a am léegi jabar jullit ji ma amul ñëpp bàyyi naa leen ma yem si aku yi after weeru koor nag ma ko mun a ñëw si ñoom collège Diouf ak ñoom Mata
man na ma ragal ne jabar yëpp doo am foo leen dugal su yàggee
no right now sa xom bi nga sampa ma pass ma ñu fa som rek xom mu ñoo am si ma ñu fa gaay waaye weeru koor gi bàyyi ma féetoo suma aku yi rek dégg nga suma aku yi julliti after weeru koor jërë ngeen jëf waay
yow serious lo paus
non léegi koo jot nag
paus dañ mu ngi lekk sa ba pare chairman bi hey man dira go ahead just close
so mama anyway thank you for making aware what is happening to Gambian women and also giving courage to other people to share their story with you. So you think you're not a feminist and you want to ask, what can you do to help? Let me just say, where Korbangenyu, pray extra prayers for these women going through their trauma in their homes. That is one. Secondly, donate to a cause. Causes yangi bari Gambia where mununyo them fend because there's no funding. Because the people also doing these causes, they need to survive. They cannot just dedicate their time because they have to work. So in order for there to be a balance, they have to get paid for the work they are doing with these causes. So donate to a cause. Thirdly, amplify a voice. Share Mama's post. Share any post regarding to what women are going through. And last but not the least, actually donate your time to go and donate. If like Mama says, you can write letter. If you're a good strategist, if you're good in social media, donate your time. So you don't have to when we spread the work, then we don't have to pressure any one person to do all the work. So you can donate your time, you donate money, amplify the voices of people who are doing this type of work, and pray during this we record this Ramadan coming. Pray len, ñaanal len ñu. Jigéen ñi solo nañ man ma gisee Mama, I still didn't watch the videos though. I refuse to watch it. It's too graphic for me. No, how a human being can do that, I don't understand, sir.
I found it very tough afterwards. But like Diro said, not only prayer, but help in any way possible. Bu leen foog ne Mama Linguère la waaw duma ñëw laaj ko parce que man laajuma ko. Definitely dañu war a pass.
Ask me then. If you don't want to ask Mama Linguère, come to me. I will tell you.
Go to Diro and ask Diro, or say I have this time and I am good at this. What do you guys want me to help with? Demba, like I said, Fatou Baji came. Okay, let's do the fundraiser. I'll take care of that, and somebody else take care of this, and it makes the work lighter. While she's concentrating on the fundraiser and the money part, I can be focusing on the advocacy and trying to follow up with the authorities, etc. And then, Diro will do write or do something else as well, so that we are all working and sharing the fundraiser, etc. Please, so if you're out there as well, even if you cannot donate, share the fundraiser so that people can know what is happening and donate. Because definitely, we need to have this house ready before before the end of this week or so, at least so that we can have these women there. We have about this. You've seen this woman that is currently on. There's another woman as well that we're also helping. That we also need to get to this shelter. So definitely, and we cannot go and dump them at the shelter at Bakota is already overloaded and underfunded. We really have to come up and do something to help with this situation right now, and that's the only way that we can do it. Like I said, thank you to everybody that has gone in and donated. Please continue to donate. Thank you to Bun for also helping with some of the medical bills. I know other people have also reached out. Ajikumba does not want to be named, but she has also reached out and has promised that she will also do something to help with the medical bills, etc. So these are all women and people, who have just come up and say, I need to help, I need to do something. I know a lot of you are also donating, so thank you so much. And if you can help with also the needy in Gambia, as we said, there's Farm Fresh, there's Baliwo, there's Kalilu, there's other places. Even if it's £10 that you buy worth of provisions, Amina Jane or Nancy can pick it up and take it to these homes so that you are helping people that are really in need in Gambia. Thank you so much. I don't know if you want to add anything, or
But dafa am suñ benn keen follower duma wax trop nag waaye li daan waxtaanaa moom dafa am accident bu métti moto fii dëkk Angleterre so mu ne Pao ñaanal lañu nag mu ne ko waa baax na li daan wax am on the phone dafa am a car accident, a very serious one waaye sant yàlla yàlla ngay def jëfam so pour di ko yokko ñaan rek ne ko
yal na ko yàlla ekkati si barke weeri koor bu nekk nii
te bu mu fi gëj nag waaw bu mu fi gëj moom suñuy fii seetaan daf ma lay jox cawarte daf ma lay jox ciki suñuy seetaan on sang so na nga wér waaw nga gaaw nga ñëw waaw so mooy loolu su ko loolu nag ñu laax nag te naa fi la te tëddi
Diro, anything before we go? Yaa ngi mute de unmute.
mane ngeen oral ma man tamit.
waaw non dinañ ñaanal ñëpp inshallah. Di wax ñëpp rek you know Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Karim, yéen foo leen munti di nekk rek si àdduna si di ñaan ñu or ko si jàmm ori si jàmm di ñaan yal na yàlla nangu koor yi nangu ñaan yi defal ñu jàmm àdduna si yëpp li fi nekk di xew gis nañ ko yal na yàlla tuur ndox bu sedda yàlla mi nga xam ne moom moomun loolu yal nañu ko defaral definitely indil ñu jàmm si réew mi yëpp daxal ñu seytaane musibaak bilaa di leen ñaanal yéen ñëpp itamit foo loo leen munti di yëngu rek bu dee li gën ci yéen la yéen na leen ko yàlla yombalal parce que xam naa ne bu leen ko yombalalee itamit seen waa réew itamit dinañ si njëriñu so ñu ngi leen ñaanal bu baax yéen itamit di ñaanal suñ viewers yi Linguère Post ñu ngi leen a wax jërëjëf di leen ñaanal yàlla defaral leen jàmm defaral leen sutura defaral leen tawfeex wér gu yaram fan bu gudda di leen ñaanal yéen ñëpp definitely thank you so much like we said you know suñ viewer boobu itamit di ko ñaanal speedy recovery di ko ñaanal yal na ko la yàlla ekkati yal na bu ko dara jot yaa rabbi mu dellu si normal activities am yi moom itamit ñun ñëpp ñuy bokk di ko ñaanal si barke la ilaha illallah si barke Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam di nga xam ne gannaaw yàlla moom lañ yaakaar kon di leen wax thank you so much yéen ñëpp ba next week inshallah xam naa nag show yi du am this kind of structure Fridays waaye dinañ xool nu ñoo indee ay ustaas yoo xam ne dinañ ñëw di waxtaan si diine ak jamono di def itamit ay endu weeri koor yoo xam ne dinañ am ay waxtaan yu am solo yoo xam ne dinañ ko ci waxtaan
ay fem
waaw mu ngoog so thank you so much everybody
mama foog ne de woon Linguère Post am ndogu nam seeti quelqu'un seen ndogu yi Sweden
waaw no Amina Diagne mu dina def ndogu ak Linguère Post moom dina waaye nag boobu sa fàtte naa ko thank you so much Amina Diagne ndogu bi at Linguère Post daf ko indi live so ku bëgga tamit pour sponsor ko in terms of mu ngi ba Gambia lu ko may ñun ñooy jógati fii di cotiser waat pour jëndal ko internet and all of these things that are needed ngir yàlla dimbale leen ñu rek at least suy benn $5,000 sax you know ñu jox ko Amina Diagne pour muy mun a dem around di def ndogu di leen ko indil fii di leen won la nit ñi di ndogoo biir Gambia and stuff like that so bëgg nañ definitely ngeen sponsor show boobu noonu su ko defee mu mun a ñëw we're working on it and Amina is all set and ready to go definitely dina dem si kër Nancy dem si kër keneen ak keneen seet bés boobu naka la kooku ndogoo and yéen xam ngeen Amina moom it would be very interesting you know for her to do that te di ngeen gis ay fem yoo xam ne mooy loolu so definitely boobu moom at least nag ngeen sponsor ko internet am bi nga xam ne dina am enough internet to be able to bring you live some of the ndogu that will be happening in Gambia so di leen wax jërëjëf yéen tamit foo leen munti nekk man tamit xëj na su ma demee London because maa ngi ko waaj rek su ma eggee London xëj na dinaa def tuuti live def ndogu si kër kenn foofu noonu ñoom Emma Jatta yëpp a ngi fi dem seeti leen def fa live bi am solo ñoom Pa Os def fa live bi am solo indil leen seen ndogu yi won leen seen ndogu yi so definitely weeri koor bi nag pare nañ boobu moom ba pare boobu pare na te bu ñu kenn pirate nag bu ñu kenn pirate wax nañ ko fii nag
ñoo ko ñu koy wax nag waaw
bu ñu kenn pirate Amina Diagne moom yéen xam ngeen ko moo leen gën a bari ay pirate leen ko rek da xam
waaw te ñi nga xam ne seen kër yi daal kër jagu ndogo bariwul comme maa si ñoom yooyu noonu Gambie yi ndog Amina Diagne suñu sa kër li nga toogalaa wane de amul naan photoshop ko de dafa edit live la waaw xam nga
Amina daal pare na moom takku na li gaay di wax takku na ni naanaa pare ndogu ak Linguère Post moom dina neex torop dina xumba dina dagan comme yéen xam ngeen rek ñun niñ koy defee so duñ bàyyi any stones lefit dinañ dem seeti ñu bari def seen kër live yi wone ni gaay di ndogoo waxtaan ak ñoom si weeri koor bi ni ko Amina Diagne di defee rek su ko defee ñu indil leen ko fii ni Linguère Post ngeen koo gis live inshallah so ngeen try ku bëgg a sponsor show boobu noonu in terms of the internet that will be used transport ak yooyu noonu just you know get in touch with me si ron then ñu mun a yónnee xaalis bi Amina su ko defee moom itamit mu doorlu loolu so thank you everybody Diro any last comments balaa ñoo dem bu leen fàtte GoFundMe bi ngeen dugga tamit GoFund
no see you next week guys
yes
everybody
okay
all right bye bye everybody di leen ñaanal weeri koor bu am
jàmm ne pause dina orde Ori ket la moo def
non
Paus.
gisuma laaxi paus bam teg man sa xaar man sa def na suma xel si laax maa ngi ñëw defa suma ruy bu toog man itamit lekk balaa maa
Paus
tëddi
man oluma ko si weeri koor bii de.
non Emma damaa ñëw Angleterre yow foog ñu def naka la ko wax ndogu Linguère Post ak Emma Jatta rek biir Angleterre macha allah du doy bay des waaye di wax everybody thank you so much dinañ leen gis next weekend inshallah and during the week of course dinañ indi xëj na 1 or 2 ndogu with Linguère Post boo xam ne Amina dina dem si different homes and we will do that inshallah okay bye bye